Welcome to the WTVP studio. I'm H. Wayne Wilson. I'm pleased to be joining you as we look for help on the home front to help those who have lost their homes and businesses in Central Illinois because of the tornadoes. I'm joined by the anchors. You'll recognize them all. The primary anchors at Channel 31, WMBD, and at WEEK, Channel 25. Maria Chandler is here. Maria, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. Wouldn't rather be anywhere else.
And Bob Larson, long time. In fact, Bob and I used to work together at Channel 31.
That's right, many, many years ago. But tonight, no competitors. We're all coming together for one cause.
And to prove that, here's Tom McIntyre. Mac is the primary anchor for since 77?
73 to be exact.
73 at WEEK. Mac, thanks for being here. And Ashley McNamee, I appreciate your being here as well.
Thanks for having us.
And let's take a look at some video of what transpired just 3 short days ago. Time came to a halt Sunday morning for thousands of homeowners across Illinois as more than a dozen twisters, a record for a November day, descended from the sky. While areas near Metamora, Roanoke, Benson, and Long Point had damage, the greatest destruction was in Tazewell County, where 2 tornadoes caused more carnage than imaginable. One funnel cloud tore through Pekin, but it was a second twister with winds at 190 miles per hour that began in East Peoria near Springfield and Muller Roads that caused the most harm. The half-mile wide vortex raced 46 miles in just 45 minutes, leaving a huge scar through the city of Washington, where more than 1,000 homes and businesses were either destroyed or damaged. The rubble that was left behind no longer resembles what had been the Devonshire subdivision, Georgetown Common Apartments, and nearby businesses after the tornadic winds pushed through town. Many families were left with nothing more than memories as their households were literally flattened. In the aftermath, recovery efforts have begun, efforts that require money. This evening, the television stations of Central Illinois are asking you to offer financial support as together we raise money for the American Red Cross. The money raised tonight will benefit local families who lost their homes on Sunday. We're at the phone bank here at the WTVP studio, and if you get a busy signal, or not a busy signal, but if you get a message, just stay on the line. Our volunteers will answer your phone as quickly as possible in the order that they've been received. We're looking for your support tonight to help the Red Cross. It's to the Illinois Disaster and Storms Fund. It will be staying in Central Illinois. Now let's go over to Ashley McNamee, and she has an interview for us.
All right, thank you. I'm here with some representatives from the Red Cross, the organization that is helping all of this come together. We have Mr. Greg Foley and Ann Fox. Thank you both so much. I think what's most important tonight as we're trying to raise money is that people understand where this money is going to go. Where is the money we raise tonight going?
Well, to begin with, it helps support things such as the 16,000 meals that have already been served to people following this tragedy by the Red Cross, and supports relief efforts in every way possible. There are shelters that are set up, food available, housing for the people who need it. These are the things that happen immediately when the Red Cross swings into action. And perhaps you have some better examples.
It's staying here, I think, is the point.
It is, absolutely. It is for the victims of these tornadoes here in our area. And it will provide whatever the needs are. And as time goes on, if there's needs that the community can't, during the recovery process, the community can't meet, the Red Cross will try and do that as well. So it's just making sure people are able to get back on their feet.
Now, right now, there's a lot of attention on Central Illinois, Washington, Pekin. You guys are going to be here when these cameras go home and for the long haul. What will the recovery look like in the long term?
Well, I think it basically is rebuilding the communities and being here every step of the way for the victims who have who've lost their homes and have to reestablish their lives. And Red Cross is there for them to help them build their lives back up, from finding short-term shelter to helping them line up with the resources they need to rebuild the community.
We've found people recover faster if they can begin the recovery process sooner. So even as we're doing the initial help for people, the initial casework, we'll start helping them build their recovery plan.
Now, we've seen a lot of outpouring of support from everyone across the area, gathering clothes and food, but really money. Explain one more time why it's money that we need right now that can help the most.
Because the needs are immediate, and if people need clothing, they need a certain size, they need a certain season. It needs to be what they need, when they need it, where they need it. The food needs are immediate. It's very efficient. It's very difficult to find enough volunteers and enough space to sort through a lot of donated clothing and get it to the right person in the right size. So it's very easy to give them a credit card or a debit card, and they can purchase exactly what they need. And then the other clothing can come in later.
All right, so if we are sitting at home right now and someone needs one more reason to give money, what was the one thing you would tell them?
It's helping your neighbor. It's the most efficient way. Red Cross has been here for well over a century, and it is the proven best way to help your neighbor in a time of need.
All right, Ann Fox and Greg Foley, thank you guys both for being here.
Thank you, Ashley. A reminder that if you get a busy signal or if you get a message, just stay on the line. If it's a busy signal, call back. We'll make sure that our 20 volunteers over here answer as quickly as possible in the order that those phone calls are received. When the storm struck, houses were destroyed. But more importantly to the families was the loss of those personal items. Here's Eugene Daniel of Channel 31 with that story.
When I came up, there was just nothing. It was just the deck of the house. House was completely gone.
Kurt and Bridget Williams are staying with relatives just outside of Washington. This is what's left of their home. Out of their basement, they and their 3 kids emerged, unharmed but shocked.
To see the cars in the street and there's nothing but debris. And as far as I could see, looking southwest, I mean, it was nothing.
We couldn't see other people coming up, and I think that was probably one of the most scary things, is you didn't know your house was on top of somebody else's house where you knew their basement was, and you didn't know how they were going to get out.
So now these are actually the clothes that we're at least able to dig out.
A few clothes and pictures are among the items they recovered before getting kicked off their property Sunday. Authorities are keeping people away for safety, but the couple wants to get home and search for anything they can find.
You lost your wallet, so he doesn't have a driver's license. He doesn't.
Yeah, right now I've got no form of ID, and hopefully they'll let me back in once we go in.
Bridget's wedding ring, symbolic of 16 years of marriage, is gone. But their desire to go back is about much more than valuables.
I think part of it's just getting closure to the whole thing. It's one of those things that our house is, I mean, there's no resemblance of a house. It's just a pile of wood, and so it's part of it's putting closure to it.
Then maybe they could start the next chapter. In Washington, Eugene Daniel, WMBD 31 News.
It's been a rough few days for the Williams family, but thankfully they are here alive and well tonight. And I'm here with Kurt and the boys, and you also have your daughter and Bridget as well. We all thank you for being here tonight. We just heard your story about the miraculous way that you got out of your house, but tell us about what your first thought was, because this happened so fast.
Well, I think, first thoughts were, oh my gosh, it just, everything's gone. It's hard, you look around and it's just lumber all over the place as far as you could see. And 2 seconds ago, there was houses standing in those places. So it's something that, almost words you can't put words to.
The one thing, when I saw your home and what was left of it and how you guys walked out of there, I mean, talk about a miracle.
Absolutely. We hunkered down and, it's just hard to describe that, and the fact that we were able to crawl out of there alive and then look at what happened around us. You're right, it's incredible.
It is. Bridget, I know that you've been allowed to go back in and look for things, salvage things. One of the things you mentioned on that story with Eugene is that you lost your wedding ring. Any luck in that area?
Yes, actually they went out, and a bunch of guys from that Kurt used to work with at CAT went in, and one of the guys said, "I'm gonna find this ring," and halfway through the day I came up and they found the ring.
Well, I'm just glad. But you know, the main thing is that you're all alive and well. And what do you see now in the future? I know it's hard to think about that because there's going to be plenty of rebuilding. You guys plan to rebuild and stay in that area?
As far as I know, I think that's what we're thinking. But as far as immediate future plans, it's just to get the kids back on schedule, make sure that they feel like there's some kind of order and routine, and just try to make life as normal as possible.
Well, I know the good news is these phones are ringing back here, and that's the reason we're here tonight, is for your family and all of the thousands of families, frankly, that have been affected from Pekin to East Peoria to Washington. The one thing that struck me at the end of the piece that we ran is that you had a sign that said, "Best place to be is together," and I guess that says it all.
Absolutely. I mean, just for us to get out as a family all together, and as a community, everybody has come together. So, you know, to me, it summed it all up.
Good. Williams, thank you very much, and I know that we'll be checking back in with you in the weeks and months to come, but all our thoughts and prayers are with you and everybody else. We're just glad you're safe and sound.
Thank you, Bob.
Thank you very much. Tom?
All right, thanks very much, Bob. Probably in central Illinois, everybody knows somebody who was affected one way or the other by Sunday's tornado. These two gentlemen, probably between them, know almost everybody that was affected. The mayor of Washington, Gary Minear, Representative Keith Summer is here. You know, you and your town have shown amazing resilience already, and it's something they're going to have to keep in the days and weeks and months ahead.
Absolutely, and as I say, day 3, we're moving forward, Washington forward. I walked neighborhoods today, and the resilience of these citizens, I'm not surprised, but it's very, very refreshing to know I'm not wrong about who we are. In Central Illinois in general, the giving and the volunteers and everything, these people are going to rebuild, and we're going to make Washington even stronger.
And you can help that rebuilding by donating. You can see the phone numbers there right underneath, the 495-0555 or the 377-0555. That's how you can donate. You can help the city of Washington, the people of Washington. Keith, I know that you've been also out looking at the devastation, which is, I'm sure we all think it's going to happen to somebody else, and it's happened to your neighbors, your people.
Heck, it's something you see on news or happens somewhere else, and you don't understand the magnitude of it until you see it firsthand. But I had a text today from a friend that lost their house, and they told me, yes, they were overwhelmed by their loss, but they were just as well overwhelmed by the support they've received from people throughout Central Illinois. And in closing, they said, we're going to be okay.
And the people are, but the people need help right now. They need housing, they need food, they need clothing in some cases, they need furniture. The people of Central Illinois, the people really of the state of Illinois, and more than most folks you know, are reaching out to help these folks. But right now we need our audience to give money.
Correct. And you know, from a standpoint of things that have been brought into our community, we're shutting things off. I mean, we have more than we can handle. We need to make sure our citizens swallow their pride and come get what they need. I know there's people that have nothing, and it's just the pride that we have that they're trying to work with what the clothes on their back, and there's clothes there for people, so come and get it.
All right, please do. Make yourself available to the opportunities there are, because there are a lot now, and there's a lot to come in the future, and as the gentlemen say, they are Washington strong. Let's kick it over to H.
And we're back over at the phones. If you get a busy signal or if you're on hold, please be patient. We're getting to the phone calls as fast as possible. We appreciate your time that you're spending on the phone, and most importantly, your contributions. And remember, they go to all the families in Central Illinois. I had a chance to talk to Mayor Minear in Washington yesterday. Very strong. He's been very strong through this all. and it's been taking a toll on all the leaders of all the communities. We have to remember that Pekin, with Lori Barra as the mayor there, and Dave Mingus in East Peoria, and those families, we have to remember them. And the families that are in the Metamora, the Roanoke Benson area, up to Dana, up to Long Point. And I had a chance yesterday to drive all the way to Champaign. Gifford, Illinois was hit very hard. More than a dozen tornadoes occurred on Sunday in central Illinois, a record for a November in central Illinois. We appreciate all the support of the commercial stations, Fox 43, Channel 31, Channel 25, and WOAE. They'll be on the air until 8 o'clock, and then they'll be doing live reports in the 10 o'clock news. Here at Channel 47, WTVP will be on the air throughout until 10:30. So please continue to make those phone calls. We appreciate that support. And while you make a phone call, let's listen in to Maria Chandler over Channel 31.
Thanks so much, H. I'm here now with Craig Gilson, Senior Director of Division Operations for Ameren, Illinois. You have been a very busy man this week. Can you just tell us kind of what your numbers are right now, what you're seeing on the ground as far as getting power back to these people?
Yeah, it's been a busy 3 days. Storm hits, everybody knows, Sunday, and at the peak we had 148,000 customers out statewide. We've restored power to 99% of them, all but 2,000. 2,000 are left are in Washington, and our plan is to have all those restored tonight with a few individual outages that will drag into tomorrow.
That's incredible. We're talking 3 days that you've done all of that. What kind of manpower does that take?
We have brought in over 700 resources from throughout the state, Ameren resources and contractors. We also have brought contractors in from 6 different states, including as far south as Mississippi and Tennessee.
So we've got people from everywhere coming here, but it takes a lot of work. They're working how long?
They worked Sunday through Sunday night into Monday till Monday night, and then we rested everybody for 7 hours. So they're working 17 hours a day in inclement weather.
And when you go to a situation like this, we were just talking about some of the damage. You see down power lines everywhere, and that's a dangerous situation. How careful do people need to be when they're first witnessing this kind of damage?
They have to be very careful. In fact, that's one of the first priorities with us, storm restoration. We had a lot of blowing gas and a lot of down power lines on Sunday, so our first goal was to get the gas shut off, get the lines cut and cleared, so for the safety of our customers, safety of the emergency response personnel, and our own workers.
Now, what about people who maybe still have some issues? How can they get that taken care of through Ameren, Illinois?
They can call 800-755-5000, or those in Washington, we have a mobile service center set up at the 5 Points Community Center. They'll be there from 8 to 5 tomorrow.
And I understand you have a very special announcement for us tonight as well to share, don't you?
Yes, Ameren, Illinois President and CEO Richard Mark has authorized a $50,000 contribution to the Tornado Relief Fund.
That is incredible. $50,000 coming from Ameren, Illinois. And what made you want to give?
I think the main thing is just seeing the destruction. Richard spent the entire day with us on Monday, and he saw firsthand, what occurred in this area, and I think he sees the need to give back to the community.
And certainly we will help rebuild hope. It's because of people like you, too. Thank you so much for joining us, Craig. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
We send it back over to H.
And you might recognize the gentleman next to me, the governor of our fine state of Illinois, Pat Quinn. Thank you for being here, Pat.
Well, I wanted to come. I was so impressed on Monday with the tremendous outpouring of everybody helping their neighbor. And we want to help the towns of Washington and East Peoria, Pekin, and really all over our state, H. We have Gifford, Illinois, not too far from here, and then Diamond, been hit with the tornado. And way south in Brookport, they really got hammered hard, and New Minden. So we're all in this together. And I know the Red Cross is leading the charge, and I want to encourage everyone watching. If you make a donation, whatever you can afford, I want to give this to the cause. I think it's important that we work together as a family in Illinois. We're all in this together. That's what families do. They help each other when they need a helping hand.
A personal donation from you, Governor?
I gave a personal donation and then one from my campaign fund. I think it's important that now's the time for everybody to give a little bit, if you can. And it's a holiday season, but I think what I saw on Monday is people stopping everything in their life and volunteering, coming forward, help folks in Washington. Obviously, Washington got the tremendous battering, but that can't keep our spirit down. I think all of us understand in Illinois that it's our time to help out our neighbor, and that's why I wanted to come tonight. I want to salute all the stations that are participating and getting the word out. We're the people of Illinois, good and true, and just yesterday was the anniversary of the Gettysburg Address of Abraham Lincoln. He delivered it 150 years ago, and I think Abraham Lincoln would be real proud of his land of Lincoln today, how everyone is helping out.
We hear names in the past like Greenburg, Kansas, and Joplin, Missouri, and Moore, Oklahoma. All of a sudden, it hits home, and you got to go up and look at it from the air. What did you feel like when you saw that?
Well, it's heartbreaking. I think when your possession, for most folks, their number one investment in their whole life is their house, their home. It's really the heart and soul of the family. To lose that house and then your possessions, it's quite inspiring, really, to see how folks all over Illinois who might have gotten something that flew into their backyard or whatever, trying to put it on Facebook so we can return it to the folks who got hit with the tornado. But I think more than anything, we have to understand that these, in many cases, were almost 200-mile-an-hour winds, unheard of, unprecedented, and that the damage is unprecedented. We want to get a federal disaster declaration. We're in the middle of assessing all the damage. Literally hundreds and hundreds of homes are demolished or very much destroyed, and we have to put all our information to the federal government to get that money.
What role is the state playing right now?
Well, we have an Illinois Emergency Management Agency, and that agency coordinates everything with our state and local resources. I think the first responders, we owe them a permanent debt of gratitude. They've worked to the point of exhaustion, working so hard to make sure that everybody has a helping hand. What we have to do is always keep an eye on housing. I think that's going to be a big, big issue in the next few days and weeks.
What role can the state play in that regard?
Well, we have a Housing Development Authority, and we also have the Department of Economic Opportunity, and we work with the Red Cross, the Salvation Army, and all the agencies of local government to make sure that folks have a place, a shelter. I mean, that's real important to have a roof over your head, especially after the traumatic events that occurred on Sunday and not having a house. The heroic stories, they're so inspiring to read about how people came forward and made sure their neighbors knew about getting to safety ahead of time and then rescuing people from the rubble. I think everybody in our whole country, I got a call from the President of the United States, and he was so inspired by the fact that the people of Illinois rose to the occasion and did not let this tornado get us down.
Did you have a chance to talk to any of those who were hit by the tornado that lost homes?
Yeah, I've been all over our state, not only here in central Illinois, but elsewhere as well.
And what did you hear from them?
Well, it's pretty hard. If something you've lived in for many, many years and you raised your family in, and to see it demolished in a matter of seconds, it's traumatic and heartbreaking. And I think it is very, very important that all of us understand that we have to rise to the occasion as citizens to help our neighbor. That's what every faith teaches us, help our neighbor.
Governor Pat Quinn, thank you so much for not only being here, but the contribution.
For the people of Illinois, thank you for donating. I can hear all the phones are ringing, and let's keep it going. Okay?
Thank you, Governor.
Take care.
When we report about this, and you might be able to relate to this, Governor, we stand outside and look in at what happens to other people, but sometimes our own reporters are the victims. That's what happened to Bo Ebenezer of Channel 25. His apartment is at Georgetown Common in Washington. Here's his story from Marshana Hester at Channel 25.
Just within 30 seconds of getting into the tub, we started hearing just this loud wind just coming our way. A lot of people say a freight train, and I think exactly that. We felt a bang, bang, bang. Just started a lot of noise, and everything just started falling down on top of our heads.
You hear about tornadoes, you see it all the time, but it wasn't until we were in the tub and it was shaking that I realized this was real.
The images are still vivid for Bo Ebenezer and Alyssa Valdez. It is the first time back to their apartment complex since riding out Sunday's tornado. In the midst of the destruction, Bo realized a brick laying next to him.
I reached around my head and I had all this blood in my hand, and that set in a whole nother panic mode.
That injury required 4 staples. To escape, the two had to jump from their apartment, and that's when a nail went through Alyssa's hand.
And then I just started screaming for Bo to help me, and he just got my arm and just yanked it out.
Both survivors say neighbors also came to their rescue. They immediately recognized one while visiting the site Tuesday and exchanged hugs and thank yous.
Yeah, we just want to say thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Residents like Bo and Alyssa lost everything. But while they and others wonder if they'll ever get to salvage personal items,
we just have to wait and come back again in the morning and wait and see if they let us in sometime tomorrow. That's going to be the plan every day until they just absolutely say, you can't.
the mystery is over for some.
I was able to go back into the rubble and get my bear. I've had it for 17 to 20 years, ever since my great-grandmother passed away.
For the people that are stuck out here, it makes the situation even harder knowing you can't find what you have left.
So often we hear stories from Washington, Illinois, but we have to remember that many communities, more than a dozen twisters hit on Sunday, many communities were hit hard. One of them was Pekin. And here's Ashley McNamee with the mayor of Pekin, Lori Barra.
All right, thank you. You're right. Washington was certainly hit hard, but there were other communities that experienced tornadoes, including Pekin. I'm here with the mayor, Lori Barra, and the city manager, Joe Woolner. Thank you guys both. Let's talk about the condition of Pekin tonight. How do things look?
Tonight, things are looking much better. Of course, if your home has been destroyed, that's not a good sign for you that your home is gone. But streets are passable and people are able to get around. Almost every home has Ameren Silco provided to it, so I think we're in pretty good shape.
So Sunday afternoon, what kind of damage were we talking about?
Well, when I went down, after it happened, I went down to Sheridan and 8th Street and talked to a policeman, and I said, it looks pretty bad, doesn't it? And he goes, it's really bad. There's a lot of stuff down. So the area closest to the river, there were 2 streets that were completely devastated, and then it just kind of jumped around from neighborhood to neighborhood and went out of town.
So in all, I think 150 homes were damaged. Power, for the most part, is back on tonight. But what does this recovery process look like long term? What do you have to do to clean all this up?
Long term, we've pretty much, like she said, we have most of the streets clear. We're still picking up garbage. You know, we've got dumpsters out because there'll be home debris that we'll be picking up probably for weeks. But most of the streets and everything will be open by tomorrow, and we'll have a lot of the trees and everything are gone. So it's just a matter now of these people being able to get back in and rebuild their homes.
And that's the thing, the psychological effect of this on people. All of us that went through it. How are the residents doing?
I think they're doing pretty well. They're very resilient. They're very good with. They have a lot of family and friends as a support group, which is excellent.
So you guys, like the rest of Central Illinois, what do you need most now?
Right now, I think we just need to keep moving forward. Keep the prayers of people coming in. That's what these people need to keep them strong and keep them moving forward.
And we need people to call and donate money to the Red Cross.
Exactly, and donate money.
All right, Mayor Lori Barra, thank you guys both so much for being here. Now we're going to turn it over to the phone bank.
We appreciate the phone calls. We want to keep them coming, and we have a viewer who would like to see those phone calls continue to come. And we want to say a big thank you to Dave Vojta of Spring Green. Spring Green is going to match the next $5,000 in contributions, so our $5,000 will turn into $10,000. We appreciate that from Spring Green. Keep the phone calls coming in to support all the Central Illinois communities hit hard by those tornadoes. We are currently at $10,873. Already, in less than an hour, $10,873. Let's see if we can't bring another $10,000 in short order with that gracious offer from Spring Green. Now let's turn to anchor Bob Larson of WMBD.
KH, thank you very much. Let's keep those phones ringing because that is why we are here and simulcasting on all the Peoria stations tonight, raise money for all these tornado victims. I'm joined now by Wayne Baum of Autobaum. And it was just a few weeks ago we honored you at the Easter Seals event. Who would think a few weeks later you would be standing here tonight in such a somber occasion? We're trying to help all of these victims, but this storm hits home close to you.
It certainly does. First, Bob, I'd like to thank the Central Illinois Red Cross and WTVP and all the other network stations who are putting this telethon on. It's just a remarkable thing. Yes, one of the things I want to do here on behalf of Otto Baums is to express our sorrow for the loss of our very valued employee, Steve Neubauer. Steve was a very dedicated employee. He was a friend to all our co-workers. He is a friend to many area boaters and just an all-around great guy. Our thoughts and prayers are with his wife, Beth, tonight. And in addition to the direct donations that our employees and the companies are making to Steve's wife, Beth, Core Construction and Otto Baum would like to make a gift of $10,000 to this relief effort.
Well, that's very generous. Now, you told me before we went on the air that you just found out recently, because of the bizarre nature of this storm, and we've had other stories of people's personal effects being found 100 miles, 80 miles away. They found something from the Neubauer family, correct, up north?
Yes, recently, last night, one of our Steve's coworkers got a call from Aurora, Illinois, and someone had found a roll of his check stubs from the Otto Baum company made out to Steve Neubauer. So that's over 100 miles away. So these storms are very extremely powerful.
They really are. Tell us where you were and your thoughts after you first found out about this storm.
Well, obviously, watching television and just shortly thereafter, you saw the devastation, and it's unimaginable, I think, to most of us, to what these people that have lost their families, that have lost their entire homes. It's unimaginable to most of us what they're experiencing. So it's really critical that, we have a generous community, and I've witnessed that in the past, and I think that we're seeing a lot of turnout today and people wanting to help. So I'm hearing these phones ring here, and I hope that each and every one of you that are watching this telecast tonight will be, again, generous to help these people that are so in need.
And I think unless you go through this yourself, it's really hard to put into words what these families went through. I just interviewed the Williams family who lived over there, and when you see the wreckage, how they came up out of their basement unharmed, I guess it was just an act of God that they were able to, a miracle, that they were able to come out of their homes. And I guess we can be thankful that only, that there weren't really that many people that were hurt. Unfortunately, one of your employees was killed, but it's amazing we didn't have more tragedy.
It really is. I think we all feel that way. When you look at the devastation and to see that all the lives that have been spared, it's truly remarkable. I assume that a lot of people were in church on Sundays, and not home. And so I guess we can be thankful for that. But truly, I think the community is coming together as it always does. I don't believe there's probably anybody alive today that has really experienced this type of tragedy here in our community to this level. So I think it's just a wonderful thing that the people are doing.
Of course, you've always been, you and your family and your company have been very generous. As I said, just a few weeks ago, Easter Seals honored you for all that you do for the community. But, I think at times of tragedy like this, it shows that everybody does come together, as you say, and tonight is proof of that. Hearing these phones ring over here really warms your heart that people are taking time tonight to help out a fellow man and, all of their fellow citizens.
I totally agree with you, and I think that, again, people are giving their time, their talent, and certainly their resources to help everyone, and I just appreciate so much the people in our community.
We'll express our condolences to the Neubauer family, and we wish them well in the days, weeks, and months ahead, but I know with your help and your company's help, they will get through this.
I appreciate that, Bob. Yes.
Thank you, Wayne. And now let's go back over to H.
Imagine for a moment if you had just lost your house. It had been totaled, leveled, and you still have a sense of humor. That sense of humor is found when you were given the title to your home that had just been found. That's the story we're going to hear from Eugene Daniel at Channel 31.
Oh, there's my light.
On Tuesday, tornado victim Shirley Phelps is trying to focus on the simple joys.
My little granddaughter is here and she says, Grandma, I found another treasure. And that's kind of how you feel sometimes. It's just a little piece of your life that you're picking back up again, you know? You get excited over little things that before you didn't even look at it as being special.
But just 20 minutes earlier, she couldn't get her mind off of a big problem. She'd like to search her basement for valuables, but couldn't without moving the family motorhome.
I mean, can you imagine the expense it would have been for us? Who would have done it?
It would have cost a heavy penny, but then these guys came to our rescue.
Volunteers are very important in situations like this, but sometimes you need the right equipment to help with the heavy lifting.
Tad Agolia leads a nonprofit called the First Response Team of America.
You know, we travel the country with a unique set of equipment that's designed to specially handle disaster debris.
They're in Central Illinois to lift weights off the shoulder of people like Shirley.
Thank you!
Now she can get back to the little things.
And your checkbook. My checkbook too? Yeah, and your title to the house.
Meeting people like Shirley and her family who have lost everything, but say they have everything they need to continue because they have their friends and family, that's a daily reminder to me of what really matters in this life.
You know, you just have to be happy for motorhomes that aren't in your basement and thankful we could have been in that basement.
In Washington, Eugene Daniel, WMBD 31 News.
We are back over at the phones. You hear they're very busy. If you get a busy signal or if you're on hold, stay with us, or busy signal, call back. We've got 20 people answering the phones as fast as possible. And I am here with Stu Levinek. Stu is a group president at Caterpillar. Stu, thank you for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
And Caterpillar has always been very supportive of Central Illinois causes, but in time of need, you step forward with equipment and with finances. What do you bring today?
Well, I have a small, I guess, meaningful donation to the Red Cross, which is an agency that we have tremendous support for. This is a donation of $50,000. It's in addition to the $1 million that we give the Red Cross every year for advanced recovery, some of which has already gone to work here, but this is in addition for help here in Peoria.
Most generous. Stu, thank you so much.
Our pleasure. We have, this is our home. We've got a lot of employees here that have been affected. A lot of donations from them, obviously, not only monetary, but also people and their time and energy. And this is a terrible tragedy, but I think this is a time when the true nature of Midwest culture comes out, and we're seeing that right here tonight.
Thank you so much. Ann, I know you're going to be thrilled with this.
I heard what he said. We are thrilled, and the generosity of Caterpillar and the whole community makes all this help possible, and the spirit and heart of all the wonderful volunteers that are out there working long days.
Ann Fox of the Red Cross and Stu Levinek, Group President at Caterpillar, thank you for the generous contribution. Thank you for the support that you give to all Central Illinois communities.
Thank you. Thank you for this tonight.
And now we go over to Tom McIntyre of Channel 25.
We're all grouping together here for the shot. Hi, thanks, H. Senator Dave Kaler is here with us, and you brought a guest.
Well, I did, and let me just tell you that when I called the governor's office, without hesitation, they said he will be there, and we got an extra special treat. We have the Lieutenant Governor Sheila Simon here with us as well. They said this is important to all of us in Illinois, and they wanted to come here and personally take part in this.
You were up in the signing of the bill in Chicago today, both of you.
It was exciting, a great moment to be up there, but just as important to be here, and I think that's the message that I've got, is that people from around the state are wanting to help, and this is a great opportunity, so I want to thank you and everyone who's put this together to be able to make this possible.
Lieutenant Governor, thank you. Senator, you said you were being asked a lot of questions up there.
Yeah, I was up at the Chicago Donors Forum of all the not-for-profit groups, and people just, were asking me time and time. I said, Central Illinois is a pretty unique place. We've had a tragedy. It's a real crisis for the community, but there's such a network of family, of friends. We're, absorbing as much as we can. This is like a big, small town, and we take care of each other. it's going to be a long winter. I mean, that's one thing we have to all realize, and that we have to be with these families from now until whenever it takes them to get back into a home. So
I think it's a real good point, Senator. Way out there, the feeling that you have now, try and sustain that, because in the weeks and months, this is not going to happen. Get fixed in a month or 2 months or 6 months. This is a year-to-year process from this point on. But Washington and East Peoria and Pekin are going to rebuild, and it's going to take your help, and that's why we're here today. We hope you'll give us a call, give money to the Red Cross. It stays local, and that's what this is all about. So we're going to send it back over now to Ashley. Ashley?
Oh, here we go. All right, I'm joined by Julie Locke. My friend, how are you doing tonight?
I'm tired tonight. It's been a long day.
So take me through the last couple of days. What's happened?
So after the storm hit, you're just in a state of shock and running around trying to figure out what to do, what's the next step, and all the devastation around you just cripples you. And to think of all the people who are just living in fear and the children who are so scared now, it's just hard for me to keep going.
So take me through Sunday. You were coming home from church when it happened. Then what?
I came home from church on Sunday, and within 5 minutes, we were on our way down to the basement, and everything went black. And we got into the shower, and I laid over Madeline, and it was over like that. And I came up, and thankfully my walls were up, my ceiling was up, there was glass everywhere. And I kissed Madeline's face, and I ran out. I gave her to my mom, and I ran outside to help others. And today, like as I was back there again, it is so overwhelming even where to start. That's how I was feeling at the time. Like, what do I even do?
And unfortunately, things aren't getting easier for you as the days are moving on. What happened to you in the last just 24 hours?
Well, I was in a hotel, and then come to find out the hotel is full, so I had to get out this morning, and I don't have electricity, and so many people have offered, but it's still just very hard when you have a 3-year-old to move around and not have a constant place for her.
And you didn't have a place to go.
No, but just by the grace of God, my church, Harvest Bible Chapter, came in and packed up what we could get the glass off of and trampled through my house and got me into a home, a safe home with heat and electricity, and we're thankful to have a bed tonight.
And your church has been a big help.
I can always go there, yeah. They're always there for me.
So as we move forward, how do you move past this? What do you do? What do you need?
That's a really good question. I wish I had a good answer for it, because right now it's literally one day at a time, because I'm so shaken and so in shock and distraught. I don't even know what I need. And just like as today came and I got taken out of the hotel and I needed to move into the hotel, I had no sheets. I didn't know where my laundry was, and just things come up missing, and it's just day by day.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being here. It's good to see you.
Here we go. And as we modify the sequence of items here at the Channel 47 studios, we've asked someone to come back and join us, because we really didn't have a chance to talk to Ann Fox with the Red Cross. We got the check presentation from Caterpillar, but what happens? The money part is oh so important, but what happens next?
What happens next in terms of the disaster is what has been happening. The Red Cross volunteers are there helping people with whatever they need. We make sure they have a place to sleep, that they have clothes to wear, food to eat. If they have medical issues, we help make sure they have their medicine, or if they need any kind of medical devices, we make sure they have those. We have mental health workers that help them deal with the trauma of what they have been through. As we begin casework and identify what their ongoing needs are going to be, we also begin to plan their recovery so they have something to look forward to and know that this is not forever, that they will recover. So we work with them on that. We are just there to help. Just what everyone would do for your family if you could do it.
So the Red Cross plays a role, at least in some part, as a coordinator to make sure that if there's a special need for a special family, you make sure that that gets to them.
We will, and we work with all the other agencies. We're blessed with many wonderful organizations and agencies in this area, and we all work together to pool resources to meet the long-term recovery needs.
Is there some way you can show us how important volunteers are to the Red Cross mission?
I can just tell you the Red Cross could not do what we do without volunteers. We have a very small staff, and just in our area here with this tornado, we have over 200 volunteers that are at work at 7 in the morning till about 9 at night. They were in our office the day the tornado struck. They were there with less than an hour. Our office was filled with staff and volunteers getting ready to go out and be sure people were okay and fed and had a place to sleep that night. Opening our shelters. They stretch every dollar that a donor gives us because all the work of reaching out with the help is done by volunteers.
You've been talking about items such as services and material goods, but what about just a hug or two?
We are the best huggers. Nobody hugs like the Red Cross. And the wonderful thank you notes we get from people that we've helped always mention how caring and understanding and truly concerned the volunteers were. So if somebody needs a hug or a pat on the back, we are there to give it to them.
For a moment, I want to talk about logistics. Sunday, about 11 o'clock in the morning, the tornadoes hit.
Mm-hmm.
How quickly did you find out, and how quickly were you on the scene?
Well, we found out when everybody found out. We watched it on TV, and as I said, in less than an hour, we were in the office, uncalled. Nobody called anybody to come. Everybody just appeared and went to work. We have our emergency response vehicle was loaded with food and water and snacks, and they were on our way. We were getting our shelter equipment out and figuring out where we were going to set up shelters. So we were on the scene in probably less than 2 hours, as soon as we could get through.
And thank you so much for what the Red Cross does. We hope that we can continue to provide you the funds so that you can continue to help those families in need in Central Illinois.
This is wonderful tonight. We just can't thank you enough. Thank you.
Thank you, Ann Fox of the Red Cross, the American Red Cross here in Peoria. This is a joint effort of all the television stations in Central Illinois. That includes Channel 31, where Maria Chandler is a primary anchor. Maria?
Well, we are here with Mayor of East Peoria, Dave Mingus. Thank you so much for joining us. And it's been such a rough couple of days for your community. Can you just talk about what you've seen so far and really the courage and the strength of the people that live in East Peoria after these storms?
You really said it all there, because what I saw in the onset was devastating, shocking. There aren't words to describe it. And then as I got on the scene, even a short time thereafter, the people came out, they're helping one another, making sure everybody's okay, and the spirit that's prevailed between each neighbor and the community at large, and supporting communities and the different entities, the Red Cross, Ameren. I mean, I can't say enough good. You just can't put words what we saw at first, and to have people who are rendering aid, it's just no words for it, actually.
And I talked to you, what was it, probably half an hour after the tornado came through. We were on the same street, and I know it was a quick, hi, Mayor, how are you? What do you want us to tell people? And really, it was amazing to me how people just came out, and no matter the state of their homes, they were helping one another. That was amazing to me to see, and that has to make you proud as mayor, too.
I'm very proud. They couldn't do anything for each other as far as restoring the home or the possessions, but that hug, that support, the care, the prayers, that made all the difference for these people, and they're very gracious to one another, express gratitude to everybody that came to visit them. Very proud of our citizens, very proud of our region. I mean, everybody stepped up. Washington's only a short distance away. We're like sister cities. What hurts them hurts us, and certainly they're part of our community as well.
And you just talked about some preliminary numbers that you got, nothing certainly official yet, but the number of homes damaged in your area.
Well, there are hundreds of homes damaged, but the disaster people informed us today that there are 40 homes that no one will ever return to these homes. They have to be demolished, and that's devastating for these folks. I mean, some of them probably didn't know their homes were that damaged, but they won't be going back. They're displaced. Thankfully, families and friends have been there for each of these people, these homes. We only had one person in the shelter a night ago, so thank God for family.
And thank God for volunteers who are helping to make these people's lives get back on track and rebuild hope. Thank you so much.
We have to remember in the future they're going to need more help.
All right, thank you so much, Mary. We really appreciate it. Now we send it back over to H.
We continue to look for your phone calls to come in. If you haven't called in yet and you've received a busy signal, keep trying, please. We need to help those families in need throughout Central Illinois through the American Red Cross. Now, we know that people in Washington, people in Pekin, East Peoria, Peoria, Dunlap, those communities are always supportive when Washington and Pekin and East Peoria are affected. However, all of Central Illinois, and that includes the Bloomington-Normal area, are very supportive, and that includes a fraternity over at Illinois State University, the Alpha Gamma Rho. And we have Blake Chaucy here. Blake, what did the fraternity do?
We hooked up with our faculty and staff over at the Ag Department. We threw a cookout. They charged $5 for a hamburger. And we had a lot of donations. A lot of the students from the university come and pitch in and donate. And we just raised money.
We just raised money. That's pretty much what it amounts to. We're going to get to a check presentation in just a moment, but let's talk to Evan Burgett. Evan, tell me a little bit about what role the fraternity plays just in general about being supportive of all issues.
Okay, the fraternity at Alpha Gamma Rho supports anything and everything we possibly can to make the community better, to raise money, to help the victims in Washington, as well as the cookout we put on today at the Ag Department. It was a great, phenomenal turnout. We couldn't have done it without the help, of course, of all the great faculty, all the students at ISU, as well as the staff.
Are you all, this is Calvin Lynch, and Calvin, are you all Ag students over at Illinois State?
Yes, sir. We're all Ag majors. Not everybody in our fraternity is, but we all have agriculture backgrounds. I think the reason we're doing this is just kind of the way we were raised, to help people and just to care for our communities, and if people need help, we're always going to be there.
And where do you call home?
I call home Cissna Park, Illinois.
Cissna Park up by Chicago?
No, actually it's 2.5 hours south of Chicago, about an hour straight east of Bloomington.
I'll get my geography straight in just a moment. And you're from?
I'm from Decatur, Illinois, about 45 minutes south, a little town called Latham, about 400 people.
And you're from?
Nokomis, Illinois. It's about an hour south of Springfield.
So it strikes me that it's not just the fact that you're students at ISU, but it doesn't make any difference where you call home, you're going to help.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. I actually went to Moore, Oklahoma in May and did the same kind of thing. Me and my roommate just kind of decided, hey, we're going to go down and we're going to help. And next thing you know, we had a truck and an 18-foot trailer full of supplies, and we were headed to Oklahoma. So just the way we were raised, I think.
And now for the important part, the check presentation.
Yes, sir.
And how much is that for, please?
$2,500.
$2,500 just by charging $5 to enter into a dinner.
And plus donations.
We've also been taking donations at our fraternity house. We're going to take them all the way through the rest of the week. And as soon as they say we can go into Washington to help start clearing up, we're just going to load the trucks up and take everything we can to Washington.
It's not just money, it's also volunteerism with the Ag students at Illinois State University. We thank them for their support. We hope that you call in with support real soon. Now we go over to Bob Larson.
Okay, H, thank you very much. Please keep those phones ringing, as H said. Those numbers on the bottom of your screen. We are all here tonight as one to help out all of these tornado victims. Joining me now is the chairman of the board of 47, but he's here tonight in the capacity of VP, one of the VPs in public affairs at State Farm, one of the biggest insurers here in the area, Joe Strupek. And Joe, thank you for being here tonight. Obviously, you have employees that have been impacted by this storm, but also, of course, many of your customers are here too.
Absolutely. There were a number of employees that live in the area, customers in the area. We've been helping those folks on the ground since Sunday, since it happened. Wanted to remind folks, please, if you haven't yet done so, they can reach out to their agent, 1-800-SF-CLAIM to report a claim, or also on statefarm.com. But we've been working all throughout the Midwest. We've had over 3,000 claims in Illinois, over 6,000 in the Midwest as a result of the storm.
because it's stretched over a big area. Yes, in our viewing area, but it's stretched all the way to Chicago and further to the south. I'm sure at a time like this, being a executive of the company, you kind of wear two hats. One, as the business person, but the second one, as a family person. As you said, your own employees have been affected by this, and certainly many customers, many of whom probably you and your employees know. So, you know, you're wearing two hats. Yes, the business hat, but also the one helping the community.
This is a valuable offering that you're doing here this evening. This shows the spirit of community that we have in Central Illinois. We have employees of State Farm who don't work in claims that have been volunteering, providing support, making donations. It's been wonderful to see to see people come together and to see the stations this evening come together, particularly here for the Red Cross.
Yeah, and I was going to say, normally we're competitors, and I believe this may be a first. I've been here 42 years. I don't believe we've ever done a live telethon with all of us here. But again, we are not competitors tonight. We're all helping out. I know you feel that same way in your business because there are a lot of insurance companies around here, and everybody is stepping forward. For folks that haven't had a chance to contact, if they're a State Farm insurance recipient, how can they get a hold of you guys, and what do you suggest for people in the Pekin, East Peoria, and Washington areas?
Well, they can reach out to their agent, or they can call 1-800-SF-CLAIM. If they have damage, whatever they can do to protect it before we have a chance to inspect it. They also should keep receipts of things so when they make their claim. But again, perfect this evening with the Red Cross. State Farm has been a partner with the Red Cross for many years. We give annually to the Disaster Relief Fund of $1 million, and we are this week providing an additional $25,000 to the Central Illinois chapter of the American Red Cross to help out with these efforts.
Joe, thank you very much, and on behalf of all of us, thanks State Farm.
Thank you very much, Bob.
Okay. Now let's go to H.
Thank you, Bob, and thank you, Joe Strupek. You know, we want to express gratification to the television stations and the general managers there. Mark DeSantis at Channel 25, Rich Enberg at Channel 31, and Chet Tomczyk, who's CEO and president of WTVP Channel 47. And we also want to say hello to Congressman Aaron Schock, who is calling in from Washington, D.C. He was unable to be here in person, but he's here by voice. Congressman.
H, good to be with you.
Congressman, I know that you have such a strong interest in this area, and I know you'd wish to be with us, but I understand you've got something very special that you want to talk about.
Well, as they're spending the first couple of days in Central Illinois seeing the damage and doing what I can to get the federal FEMA folks on board, I had to come back to D.C., and I will tell you the outpouring of support among my colleagues who've gone through similar disasters in Oklahoma and Louisiana and so on, Kansas and the like. Folks want to know what they can do to help, and so I've been directing them to the Red Cross Illinois chapter, the Central Illinois chapter, the great leadership of Ann Fox and her team, knowing that is our agency of choice to give donations to, particularly cash donations, so people can start rebuilding. And one of the folks I had the chance to share that message with was our friends at ExxonMobil, and they just called me today to let me know that they are ready to check to Red Cross Central Illinois for the Illinois Tornadoes Fund to the tune of $100,000.
Wow, $100,000. Outstanding. Thank you for doing that, Congressman, for arranging that.
Did I hear that right?
I think that's a 1 and 5 zeros following, correct?
That's correct, $100,000 cash.
I learned that from Sesame Street. That's outrageous. That's outstanding. Thank you very much. Well,
and I too want to say just thank you to Chet and Mark DeSantis and the leadership of all three networks for you guys doing this. It's a great way for the community to really pull together. I know a lot of folks in Central Illinois are wanting to help.
And Rich Engberg as well. Yeah.
Pulling it off.
And Congressman, if you would express the gratitude of Central Illinois to our friends at ExxonMobil, that would be just outstanding, because I know that is going to mean so much to the 1,000 plus homes that have been destroyed here. So thank you again, and we're about to move on, and appreciate the call.
Thank you, Congressman.
Thank you.
We're going to take a break and go back to regular programming on the commercial stations. We'll be back continuing the telethon here on Channel 47 WTVP. Stay with us.
Okay. With all of us?
We continue the telethon here on WTVP. We appreciate the support of Channel 25, Channel 31, Fox 43, and WOAE. And they're going to be reporting again during their newscast at 9 and 10 o'clock. So those of you who have not called in, please give us a call. And now let's go over to Maria Chandler of Channel 31.
Brent Eichelberg of Commerce Bank, he's the regional president. You have been really working with your constituents, people that work with you, talking about how they can help, right?
Absolutely. We've had employees affected directly by the disaster, and I'm sure several clients as well. Commerce Bank has a strong history of giving back to the community and financially supporting situations like this, so we're very happy to make an announcement of a contribution this evening.
And you said you had a lot of employees, several employees that were actually affected by these tornadoes. So what's that like as someone who works with these people every day to know that virtually everything they have is gone?
Well, it's very saddening and devastating to see the destruction, but when you see the teamwork and the spirit of camaraderie, when the employees go out, we over the last 2 days we've had several employees on site at the homes of these employees, and it's just great to see that spirit of camaraderie.
I'm sure a lot of people just wanting to know how they can help, and you have a foundation that is able to provide that help tonight, correct?
We do. We're happy to announce tonight, and I'll hold up a check. We're going to commit $25,000 to the American Red Cross, and the organization is the William T. Kemper Foundation, Commerce Bank trustee. And we're very happy to make this commitment to the community this evening, and just to be a small part of helping with the recovery effort.
$25,000. $25,000. That will do so much. And how does that feel just to be able to, like you said, I know it's a long road to recovery, but to be able to really help those people, $25,000, that's incredible.
Well, it's great. It's just an extension of what our employees do every day. Every year, year in, year out, we have employees involved in about 100 organizations around the area, giving of their time. We give financially to about 60 plus organizations every year. So when events come along like this, we just step in.
And it's much appreciated. Keep those calls coming in. Thank you so much for your contribution tonight.
You.
We really appreciate it. And now we toss it back over to H.
All right, thanks very much, Maria. I am here with John Zeitzen of Country Financial. There's a couple of stories, the reasons he's here. You were there shortly after the tornado hit in Washington.
Yeah, the day the tornado hit, we were shopping at Menards in Washington and checking out when the sirens started going off. So we got out there, we saw the tornado forming, and obviously got in the car and headed the opposite direction as quick as we could.
But you went back.
We went back. We've got some family and friends that are up in the neighborhood that was affected, so we kind of circled around, came back, and we could kind of tell by the path that was taken that my wife's grandmother was kind of in that area, so we wanted to try and get over there and check on her if we could. So my wife dropped me off close. We got to a point where you couldn't get through the road. It was that bad. So went in there and tried to help do what I could. We were yelling in basements. I helped a guy turn off his gas. We found a gentleman that was half buried. The fire department came over, helped him out. So pretty chaotic, but made it through. My wife's grandmother was luckily didn't get affected by it, so it was good.
Okay, well, John, you're the kind of volunteer that we saw a lot of on that Sunday and in the days that have followed, people coming to the help of others. That's what you folks out there can do. If you weren't there on Sunday or Monday or Tuesday or today, you can still help. You can be a volunteer to help like John did. And we've got to say, by the way, John has got an extra little present today. John's been out in Washington. You were out today delivering checks to some of your clients out there.
The last 3 days meeting with clients and getting them some money to take care of personal property, extra living expenses, those types of things. And today we went out. I was out with an adjuster all morning looking at cars, looking at houses, things that we could look right away and say, hey, yeah, that's totaled. Let's get these people taken care of. So, and we did a lot of that today, so that was good.
And Country Financial has made a donation to the Red Cross.
Yes, they sure have. Ready for that?
I'm ready for that.
Got a check here from the corporate office for $50,000.
All right, $50,000. That is good news. It goes to the Red Cross, and quite frankly, this is money that's going to be helping people who didn't have insurance policies. There are a lot of renters, people who didn't think that they needed insurance, and now they found they do.
Yep, this will go to help them out. Anybody who needs it, anybody the Red Cross can help, this is what it's for.
All right, thanks very much. We're going to head it over to Marcus now. Hi, Marcus.
Hey, Tom, good to hear from you. And again, we are continuing now in the 8 o'clock hour. Thank you so much for joining us and continuing to donate and making those phones ring. This evening, we are joined with Ann Fox with the Red Cross Central Illinois chapter. And Ann, thanks for being here this evening and everything that you guys do.
Oh, thank you for this evening. This is supporting everything we do.
That's right. Let's talk about that too. You know, because we get a lot of questions. Where is this money going to? Obviously, we're donating for the Red Cross, and how is it helping? Where is it going to? Okay.
The money goes where if your neighbor's house was destroyed and you wanted to help your neighbor, whatever you would do is what we do. You know, we're there. We make sure they have a place to sleep. They have food. They have clothing. If they need medicine, we help with that. We give them pats on the back. We're like your hands and heart to reach out, and the generosity of all the people that we're seeing tonight is just incredible and means so much to these families who've lost so much.
That's right, and you know, we're not just locally here in Peoria, but we're streaming online as well. So there's a lot of people that are watching around the country, maybe even around the globe. And something that's really important to kind of keep in mind, the Red Cross is there minutes after it happens, but you're going to be there days, months, and if it takes years, right?
We're always here. We are always here, yes.
So keep those phones ringing, because those phone rings and that money is going to continue to help these people, not just now, not just a few weeks from now when the national media is gone, and not just a few months from now when we continue the rebuilding process, but over the next year and 2 years and 3 years as we continue to rebuild. Ann, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Marcus.
All right, let's send it over to H.
Thank you, Marcus. We appreciate it. And we'll be talking to him later on during the telethon here. But right now, your role is to call the numbers you see on the screen and make a financial contribution to this cause to help the families that are in such need here in Central Illinois. The news departments at the news operations throughout Central Illinois at the television stations have been doing reports ever since Sunday afternoon. Here's one from Channel 25.
All that's left is the basement of Dustin and Kirsten Essex' 3,300 square foot home. While some of the furniture remains intact, Sunday's tornado hurled a vehicle into the basement wall. It's here where their 11-year-old son, Winston, huddled into this enclosed corner with his brother and sister as mom and dad raced to try and get home.
I said to the twins, just pray to God that we live, and it is a miracle because the house started shaking and I could hear the crashing and smashing of everything, and it really is a miracle.
Dustin, his wife, and son were stuck in their vehicle and unable to turn down Coventry Drive because of the storm. Instead, they drove to a neighbor's home.
As soon as I turned in that driveway, that whole side windows caved in, everything pummeled into me. My wife and I just put our bodies over my 8-year-old's head and rode the storm out.
This cell phone picture shows what's left of Dustin's car.
You know, it's just absolutely surreal. As you look around, it's just, I just can't believe that, you know, that this happened. And I'm just feel so blessed that, you know, my kids are alive and that we're alive.
Despite the huge loss, the couple says they're just grateful to be alive and able to celebrate their twin children's birthday this week. In Washington, I'm Denise Jackson reporting.
We're back over here at the other end of the studio, and you're going to recognize the people that help point you in the right direction when it comes time for a storm rolling through Central Illinois. Please say hi to the chief meteorologists of 31 and 25, Marcus and Chuck. We're just going to stay on a first name basis. Is that all right?
That's fine. We know each other.
Yeah,
That's fine.
And we're all working together in this particular case. We want to talk about what happened that Sunday morning. It was about 10:55 in the morning. When did you learn, and what kind of reaction does the 31 meteorologist team have?
Well, you know, it was kind of, we all were made aware, and I think more than anything, the Weather Service, whether it was on a local level or on a national level, getting the high risk out and kind of the alert and the weather aware is what I think, you know, Chuck and I like to say a lot. So people know ahead of time, hey, you need to pay attention. It was very good. They issued that high risk for at least the eastern portions of most of our viewing area. And so there was that. And then getting the warnings out. The ingredients obviously were there. The biggest worry and the biggest concern is you don't see typically these types of severe weather outbreaks in November. It is not common. It happens, but it's not common. I think that was a huge concern because a lot of people may not have been paying attention.
The Joplins, the Greenbergs, the Moore, Oklahomas, those all happened in May. This is very unusual. You were on the air with Sandy Gallant. You were very, very close to that tornado.
Right, exactly. The Pekin tornado was separate, but the Washington tornado started at right outside our station on Springfield Road.
By about Muller Road.
Right, yeah, exactly. Muller, Cole Hollow, Springfield Road areas right there where 474 intersects in that region. And we had been on the air doing cut-ins. We took a hit and our power went off for about 30 seconds. We came back. I was rebooting computers. Sandy was on the air, and then all of a sudden, we looked at each other because we heard that proverbial freight train. It's a sound you won't hear anywhere else. You can't replicate that sound. It's a sound, when you hear it, you know what it is. We knew what it was. It sounded like it was right on top of us. We went to our storm-ready shelters, which are interior bathrooms in our building, for about 10 minutes and then came back out. But you could actually hear the noise. I know it's been on YouTube and it's all over the world, that clip. You can hear the noise if you listen real close. You can hear the noise that we were hearing.
And you looked up at the roof.
Right, because I was trying to figure out if it was our air conditioning starting to kick in or what it was, and then I saw lights starting to wave a little bit, and we had some vibration going on, so I knew it was a real deal.
When your Carissa was there and Cody and how do you coordinate all that? Where all the sources, the National Weather Service, your radar, how do you put all that together in this particular case?
It's a group effort. It really is. I mean, the National Weather Service issues the warnings, and then it's our job as members of the media, television's meteorologists, to get those warnings out. And the technology is there for both of us. We have radar and we're able to dissect that, show tracks, those kind of things. And it goes beyond that even to social media where maybe some power went out in some areas that you could throw that on there to try to get the warning out. So that's kind of how we all coordinate that. You know, you go further and as Chuck was mentioning, and right when that tornado started forming, you know, something a little bit different than maybe you can relate that's more recently, maybe Elmwood or any other that have been weaker tornadoes. You saw what we call a velocity scan. What it does is it looks inside the storm that meteorologists look at. And it shows inbound and outbound winds. And if the brighter colors are there, you see a signature. And at one moment, right when it was starting to form around Pekin and East Peoria, it gets very bright and very distinct. And I think Chuck would probably agree with me and say, when you saw that scan, when it started getting brighter, it's a sickening feeling because you know people's lives are about to change right then. So
agreed, Chuck? That's
absolutely.
What you saw?
Yeah, we saw that signature, and it wasn't 2 minutes later that we heard the noise because we were very concerned for our safety looking at that signature, but we kept on the air, and we knew it would be close, and it certainly was.
Because you were so close to a tornado, I assume you'd never been that close before.
Yeah. I have, when I was in high school, a tornado touched down a block from our house, so I've heard that noise before. I knew what it was when I heard it, and that's the reason why I looked up to make sure that I was hearing what I was hearing.
And now that you've experienced a second time, do you have a new way of telling the public? Because sometimes I think the public sits there and says, okay, Chuck, okay, Marcus, yeah, you got another one of those tornado things.
Right.
How do you impart the seriousness of it to them now that you've been so close?
Yeah, I think what we did by taking cover, I mean, we practice what we preach. We can't expect viewers, listeners, the public to take cover if we don't. And that was our first and foremost duty, is to protect ourselves. And we did that. and we practice what we preach, and hopefully people will heed the warnings, because a lot of times people don't. We have several tornado warnings. A lot of times we don't get actual tornadoes with some of the warnings because they're radar indicated. We don't want people to be crying wolf, so to speak. We want them to take cover every time, because 4 to 5 times, maybe not. That 5th time may be the real thing.
This was an EF4, the one in Washington, an
Correct.
EF2 in Pekin.
Correct.
What does all that mean?
That's just measuring the magnitude of the actual storm. And EF5 typically would be the largest. EF4, where their preliminary rating 190 mile per hour winds at its maximum in Washington and peak at 120 miles per hour. Still a large storm. I believe studies that I've seen, a good chunk of, I want to say 80 to 85, even 90% of actual tornadoes that happen in any given year in the U.S. are typically EF0s or EF1s, which even shows how rare it is, not only to get a tornado in itself, but to get a tornado that large and that magnitude.
An EF4, Marcus said 190 miles an hour.
Right.
Does that mean 190 miles an hour like this?
That is the wind speed of the winds on the periphery of that tornado. The EF4 scale is 166 to 200. Weather Service in Lincoln determined 170 with a peak of 190 in Washington. That tornado was on the ground 46 miles, 46 minutes. It traveled at a mile a minute.
And that's unusual to stay on the ground that long.
It is very unusual, because sometimes you'll see tornadoes hop or bounce, if you want, or lift or anything like that. But I mean, this one not only was on the ground long, it was fast, 60 to 70 miles per hour. It was an extremely fast-moving storm.
I want to say thank you to both of you, because I think you probably saved some lives. We only lost one life in this EF4 tornado and the EF2 in Pekin. Marcus, thank you for, and Carissa and Cody as well.
Thank you,
Sandy
H.
Gallant and to you, Chuck, Sandy, to you, Chuck. And we appreciate the expertise that you bring to tornado warning and weather in general here in Central Illinois. Thank you.
You're welcome. Appreciate it.
Alrighty. And now we want to make sure that you know that Marcus is from Channel 31, Chuck's from Channel 25, and they have bosses. They have to be really nice to those bosses, because they're right across the way. Here's Mark DeSantis, here's Rich Enberg, and my boss, Chet Tomczyk.
One of the great things is the cooperation between all of the stations, the commercial stations and the public station here in this market. We serve you, and this is what this is all about. I'm pleased to introduce the manager of WEEK and WHOI, Mark DeSantis.
Chet, nice to see you.
And the manager of WMBD and WYZZ, and that's Rich Engberg.
Glad to be here.
So, guys, thanks very much. Mark, where are we at right now?
The last I heard, Chet, we were at $356,000.
Wow, and that's been some time for Fremont City. We're probably well over 360 by now. So thanks to you. Thanks for making those pledges. Now, don't forget to fulfill them. That'd be great. That kind of help in rebuilding Central Illinois. Now, we just had a fantastic pledge from friends outside the area.
That's exactly right. ExxonMobil contributed $100,000.
Congressman Schock called that in, and he had some contacts in Washington arranged for that. The other thing he was talking about was the cooperation of all the bureaucrats in Washington. And you guys do what you do, and they were able to drop everything, get their staff to drop to everything, and make this happen. As much as our folks here with Bill Baker and Todd Pilon. But the FCC worked as well, just like that, so that we could do this, because this is not part of what we do. So anyway, I want to say thanks to the folks there. And Congressman Schock couldn't be here. I guess he was here earlier in the week on Monday and Tuesday. He had to go back to Washington. And so he left this message on video for all of us.
On Sunday, our community was shaken by violent storms that left hundreds of our neighbors without homes and thousands without power. For those affected, the shock has only started to wear off, and the process of picking up the pieces and rebuilding their lives has begun. I saw the devastation caused by these storms firsthand. Entire neighborhoods wiped out, with nothing but piles of rubble and the paved roads remaining. But I also saw the incredible spirit and generosity that anyone who has ever lived in Central Illinois is acquainted with. Within hours of the storm, offers of shelter, food, clothing, and other needed supplies poured in from neighbors of those affected and from people throughout the world. The emergency personnel who responded to the storms worked tirelessly to help those who were injured and to find people trapped in the debris. And the mayors of the affected cities stood with their fellow citizens around the clock and did an extraordinary job of coordinating the search and rescue efforts. As we so often see in times of great tragedy and loss, the resilient spirit of the people of Central Illinois shone through the storm clouds, and we were all reminded of what makes our part of the world so great. Tonight, every penny of your donation to the Red Cross will be specifically used to help local people recover from the storm. No amount is too small, and I encourage you to donate as much as you are able. Please call the number on your screen to donate and direct your donation to Illinois Tornadoes and Storms to ensure that all funds stay local. You can also personally drop off a check at your local Red Cross chapter, and be sure to write Illinois Tornadoes and Storms in the memo line. The people and families helped by your donations are our friends and neighbors. And as a Central Illinoisan myself, I know that this is an extraordinary place to live. The cleanup and rebuilding have only just begun, but we will stand with these affected communities until the last home is rebuilt. And your donation will help with that effort. Please keep these victims in your prayers. These families will continue to need our help in the months ahead as we rebuild their homes and meet their immediate physical needs. Your contribution tonight to Illinois Tornadoes and Storms can help with this process. Thanks for being a good neighbor and showing the rest of the world what Central Illinois is all about.
Wow, what a terrifically exciting night. Jim Baumgartner, Director of Corporate Affairs at CAT, right down here, Caterpillar, our neighbor right down the street, world headquarters. It's exciting to have you here.
Well, we're thrilled to be here, Chet.
Well, I got to tell you, we've seen pictures from 9/11 and Katrina and other disasters, and everything we see has got CAT equipment helping with the tear down and the cleanup and the rebuilding. And with this in here, I guess you guys are not only talking about money but equipment.
Right. Well, really, we're in our own backyard, and we have about 300 families just in Washington that are employees of ours that have been affected. So how could we not provide what we actually make every day? Equipment, generator sets for power.
And we've got some video on that your folks have shot. So let's take a look at the video.
It seemed like a matter of seconds when it happened. And then after that, it was the scary part of not being able to get out. I said, I don't know what to do.
For these folks to be in the situation they're in, and they just need one little wall moved.
All of the help here today, I can't imagine.
It's been pretty satisfying and saddening at the same time.
People from Peoria, Chicago, all over have helped us.
People you don't know, the community. I can't explain how great it has been. I never realized how people pull through and help one another.
We're hoping to find pictures and have at least some closure, I guess, here.
First, they're in a little bit of shock. They're shocked that people are so willing to help.
Someone was coming down and we just said, hey, and he's like, okay, move everything, and he did it.
And then once you help them, they're extremely grateful.
We said thank you and God bless.
Something comes over you, a strength that you know you made it out alive, so you can just about make it through anything now. And now you have to pick up the pieces of your life and find out what you have left, and you have to go on with life.
Okay, Jim, we're back in the studio here now. Just fantastic to see what the CAT folks are doing, not only with their dollars, but with the equipment that's built here. Thank you so much.
Well, we're so grateful that we have partnerships with a couple of different people that really need to be recognized. One is that we have an organization called First Response USA, which you saw in the video, and they came. When I called them on Sunday, they drove all the way from Pennsylvania. They got to Washington at the square by 10 a.m. Monday morning, and they were ready to work. So they wanted to come and help people. They don't charge a penny.
This is helping your own too here.
It is.
And how
And
many people in Washington?
300 families with homes that were nearly or totally destroyed.
Oh my.
So there's been an outpouring of help for these families, but in addition, all the other families that have been affected.
Right. Well, I understand that you are also making a little presentation to the Red Cross.
That's right. In fact, we did that a little bit earlier. We came in with our check for $50,000, which goes directly to the impacted families here in Central Illinois.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Any money that is pledged tonight, if you mark it, it goes to the American Red Cross, and it's strictly for use within Illinois here for the rebuilding of Illinois. So thank you to Caterpillar, and thanks to you for your pledges. Let's go back over to H.
He came in and then and made a donation and then flew back. And sometimes we take a little bit of break. The pace is hectic here. We appreciate your phone calls. Continue to make those phone calls, but now you can do it to the sound of music in just a minute. But first, you might recognize this young lady, our Lieutenant Governor Sheila Simon. Your dad, Paul, very involved in politics for years and years, and you followed in his footsteps. But was he a musician?
He had a very good bass voice, so he could join in any choir any day and loved it.
And you're a banjo player?
Banjo player, and I brought some friends along here who wanted to help out, and I think that's the spirit across the state, is people are willing to do what they can to help out, so we're glad that people are calling in with their donations.
One more quick question before I introduce the band members. Dave Kaler, the senator, I believe he plays guitar, doesn't he?
He plays a mean guitar, and he has no excuse for not being up with us right here, right now. Maybe you should persuade him to come back later with his guitar.
I'll try to do that while you play.
Okay.
Let me introduce Ammon Paquette on the mandolin, of course, Lieutenant Governor on banjo. Next to the Lieutenant Governor is Bob Rosensteel on bass. On guitar across the way is Bob Bradley, and on guitar and vocals, Cora Wynn. And now, a loose band, not loose gravel, just a loose band.
Thank you.
We have a fun old-timey song for y'all tonight. It's called Angeline the Baker. Sugar candy and she still won't marry me. Angeline the baker, Angeline I know, should have married Angeline just 20 years ago. Angeline the baker lived on the village green, way I've always loved her, it's all you ever see. Angeline the baker, Angeline I know, should have married Angeline just 20 years ago. Father was a baker, his name was Uncle Sam. I never shall forget her, no matter where I am. She says she can't do hard work, cause she is not stout. She bakes the biscuits every day and pours the coffee out. Angeline the baker, age of 43, fed her sugar candy and she still won't marry me. Angeline the baker, Angeline I know, should have married Angeline just 20 years ago. I bought Angeline a brand new dress. It's neither black nor brown. It was the color of stormy skies the days the rains came down. 16 horses in my pack, leader he was blind. I dreamed that I was dying, I saw my Angeline, Angeline the on the village green. The way I've always loved her beats all you've ever seen. Angeline the baker, Angeline I know, should have married Angeline just 20 years ago.
Yeah, okay.
Just looking at you.
You just like. And we say thank you to the Nameless Band led by the Lieutenant Governor Sheila Simon. Thank you so much. And now we want to talk to the 91st District State Representative. You know, you represent East Peoria and Pekin, Mr. Eunice. And it had, I mean, Sunday when you heard about it, what was your first reaction?
Well, my first reaction, we were at home, we went down to the basement. We did not have any damage, but then we had the emergency, you know, we had the radios on and started hearing about some of the damage. And my first thought was, you know, fear of, you know, how many people are injured and hurt. And there's, you know, one is too many, but it's just a miracle that there aren't more. It's a miracle that we're not standing here talking about, you know, 150 or 200 dead. It really is. Walking through the devastation and seeing it firsthand is something you just can't put words on, and something that I've never seen live before, and something I hope I never see again.
So you actually saw the devastation in Pekin and East Peoria?
Pekin, East Peoria, and Washington. Yeah, it's just again, it's something that you just can't put words on it. It's something that. Like I said, I've never seen before, and it really puts things in perspective. You know, the small things in life that you're worried about all of a sudden just go away when you look at that devastation and you see what's going on. And the outpouring of support and the way this community has come together, and we really are one community, it's just been awesome. It really has.
We talked to the governor a little bit earlier. I believe it's now 15 counties have been declared a disaster area.
Right.
What role do you play as a representative, and what role does the state play in helping?
Sure, well, just working with IEMA, and IEMA has been doing a great job, and I've been, and my office has been trying to, keep up with getting communications out there. We're using social media, and it's been great. Actually, social media really helped with this event tonight, getting volunteers, because like I said, most of the calls we've been getting have just been outpouring of, what can we do? I've got a truck full of plywood and hammers, tell us where to go. And so it's just been a really awesome thing to see this community come together and to see that, this storm isn't going to tear us apart. It's bringing us very close together.
You have been here all night long. You've been using Facebook?
I have, yeah. Yeah, well, we posted a Facebook post helping Jenny get this organized. We posted a Facebook post saying we needed volunteers for the phones, and I think I talked to her 45 minutes later, and she said we're all full and we've got a waiting list. So it's just a really neat thing to see everyone come together.
Representative Mike Eunice, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, H. Thank you for doing this.
Okay, and
Thank you.
we appreciate your support. Speaking of phones, if we could have had more than 20 lines in the studio, your volunteers could have come in.
That's right.
So please make those phone calls right now if you haven't already. Support this very worthy cause. Now let's go across the studio to Chet Tomczyk, our CEO and General Manager.
Hi, we're back here with Scott Martin, the president of Pekin Insurance. Scott, thank you for being here this evening.
Great to be here to help.
You guys have done yeoman's work, I know, with all the damage that was, and you've got clients all over Illinois that were affected by this.
Yeah, it's been quite a week. Certainly the events here in Central Illinois are unforeseen in a very, very long time, but we have a dedicated group of young people that are on our catastrophe team, and they have been on site since early Monday and are getting the job done for us.
So as a background, whether they mobilize, you've got practices, or how do they know where they're going to go and how fast do they get out?
Well, they have done this before. They're good at it. They get together, they put together a plan, And we have a mobile claim office now out in front of Walmart in Washington, and they're getting the job done for us.
And you were saying that you think that by now most of the customers of yours have had their claims, at least somebody was talking to them about their claims, but if not, they can go back out and still see these folks.
Absolutely. To our knowledge, we've contacted everyone that has a serious loss. The work now is getting done to settle those claims, and we're very proud of the fact that we're in there early and getting our customers taken care of.
Well, thanks to you and to all of your staff for all you do. Now, I know that you've got a special program going on, and you're going to be making a presentation to the Red Cross later in the week. So what you got going on?
Well, like a lot of people in Central Illinois, we have some really generous employees. We're collecting money back at the home office, and the company is going to match all those contributions this week and bring it to the Red Cross later in the week.
Well, all of you folks out there that are Country Company employees, put the knock on these guys here now and make them pony up. Get yourself really some generous contributions out there, because this is a very giving community. And we see this year, of course, with WTVP, but just seeing all that you do in the community, we want to say thank you for that, and we hope they really hit you up hard for that match.
Thank you very much. We're happy to be here.
Thanks for being here. Back to you guys.
And we're back over at the phone bank, but before we talk to anybody in the phone bank here and find out what they're doing, we want to remind you that we have to thank a few people. Dave Lenny is volunteering tonight to run audio. We also want to say thank you to Paul Kluber, who has Chroma Studio has a great big jib here, so those high shots you see, those come from Paul. There, that right there, that's Chroma Studio, the jib. We also want to say thank you to Altorfer, the cat rental store at Altorfer, for the lift that got us up into the ceiling here of this very tall studio. And also to Prospect Sound and Lighting for the wireless mic that I am wearing and others are wearing tonight. So thank you to all of them. They've helped to make this possible on a volunteer basis so that all the money goes to the American Red Cross to help. You can see all the phone operators here. They are, as soon as they hang up, once again, they pick it up. It only rings one time and they're back on the phone. All 20 lines. If they're busy, please remember to call back. Or if you're on hold, just stay with us. We'll get to you. We appreciate the support so far. We're going to continue until 10:30 tonight. So please help out those in need right now. And now we want to go to a package, because remember, this is a joint effort from the commercial TV stations 2531, Fox 43, WOAE, and WTVP. Here's another look at a package that aired earlier this week.
This used to be Joey Davidson's Washington home.
I mean, there's nothing left.
Davidson took shelter on the lowest level with his wife, 6-year-old son, and 1-year-old daughter.
I could feel everything that was hitting me. I knew it was cinder blocks, and I knew it was trusses. I knew, it was just very surreal. And at one point, I thought I was a goner.
In a matter of seconds, their home was torn apart. But he knows they're lucky to have even survived.
The wind actually, I think, picked me up and sucked me up on top of the pile. So I only had a few things to remove. And then when I did, my family was under the rubble. All I could hear was them screaming.
Fortunately, his wife and kids have only minor cuts and bruises. His injuries, though, are a little more severe.
Cracked rib and, vertebrae and dislocated shoulder, but, surviving, counting my blessings.
For the Davidson family, the destruction comes after an already tough year.
Just bought the house, too. Just paid off the car the day before. So, once again, got laid off about a month ago.
But on this Monday, he's finding that maybe not everything was lost.
The Wolfgang? Sweet.
A friend found his favorite guitar.
Oh, yeah. Excellent.
His wife discovered some of his son's clothes.
His clothes were?
But the best news he's received yet, a hard drive full of family photos went untouched.
It's awesome.
Davidson says he's not sure where they're going to live or how long it will take to recover, but with his family by his side, he knows every day forward will be a little bit better.
This thing has taken our house, but like I said, if I can get back a beach towel or the laundry basket, it's a win.
In Peoria, Alexandra Suter, WMBD 31 News.
Well, it gives me great pleasure now to introduce State Senator Darren LaHood. Senator, this is part of your territory here, isn't it? Part of your coverage.
You know, where the tornado hit in Washington, my district is right next to it in Woodford County there. So where the tornado went through and everything blew into my district there. And so I was out there on Monday morning, and to see the devastation is just, it's mind-boggling. And I got to do a little helicopter tour and see the path that it went on. And it's like nothing I've ever seen before. And, you know, I just want to say thank you to the broadcasters for what you guys are doing here and all these volunteers. It's absolutely tremendous to see the outpouring for the citizens of Washington and Pekin and East Peoria. And, you know, what I want to tell people is we're going to be there for you. We're going to be there for you in a week, a month, 6 months from now, and a year from now. Whatever it takes, we as this community, Peoria, the state of Illinois, the surrounding area, we're going to be there for the citizens of Washington and the people affected.
Well, you know, we have such a large thanks to give to all of the first responders, and they did a terrific job, and with only one life lost, that's hard to believe. But I think, as you say, as we go on, it's got to get beyond that, and people have to start rebuilding their lives, and part of what you do and part of what you're going to be able to do with the state and what the dollars are coming, what you're doing at home is going to help with that rebuilding.
Absolutely. And you mentioned the first responders, and you know, we have to thank those policemen and those firemen and those first responders and everything they did. They have been absolutely tremendous. And all of the police and fire from the surrounding communities and all over the state that have been here and just have been working hour after hour to help people in Washington. And, you know, we need to thank them and all the work they've done. And it's been absolutely tremendous. But, you know, this showing here, the money that they've raised here tonight, we're going to continue to do all we can to support the victims of this tragedy. And you're right, it's amazing when you go out there that there was only one death. And you know, a lot of people were in church. We were in church that day, and I think that says a lot about what went on here and the fact that people listened and went in their basements. You know, it's Washington is a strong community of faith. And they're gonna come back stronger than ever. Their commitment and dedication to rebuilding, and we have to be there to support them.
And I think based on the calls that are coming in, kind of watching the phone bank here, we see that as soon as somebody puts the phone down, they're up again. And the total raised so far, I think we just gave you that number.
$450,000.
Right.
Yeah, which is absolutely tremendous. And I want to mention one other thing. You know, the Washington Panthers are playing this Saturday against Springfield Griffin, and that's part of the reason I got my orange tie on here today. You know, it's a tremendous story that they're in the playoffs. They have so much pride in Washington, and now all over the state with the Bears and the Rams wearing their decals this weekend. We have to go out and support the Washington Panthers. I'm going to be rooting them on Saturday.
Well, Senator, thank you for being with us, and thank you. We're going to go back to H now.
And we want to say thank you to Chet. And a little bit earlier, you saw a story about the Davison family of Washington. They lived in the Devonshire subdivision, and I am very, very thankful that all of you are here. Ashley and Joey.
Yes, yeah.
And down here we have Dean. Does everybody call you Dean?
Yes.
Okay. And remember, Hadley, who is 1 year old, can't be here. I think she's napping.
She's resting.
Yeah.
She's resting? She needs to sleep?
Yeah.
Okay. Joey, explain the situation. You lived right at the epicenter of this in the Devonshire subdivision.
Yeah, 1001. It got hit pretty hard, obviously. 3-story home. You know, we just got home from church, got home from eating breakfast afterwards, and we were home for maybe 10 minutes, and we heard the first siren, which was through the TV, thankfully. And then about 2 minutes later, it was the overhead sirens, and then all of a sudden, you know, it was panic on TV from our local news reporters. So we headed downstairs at that point and grabbed our devices and looked, and you know, of course it was coming, and we kind of felt like this was the real deal. And
What was going through your mind, Ashley, when and who made the decision to go downstairs?
Dean.
Dean did?
Dean did.
Really?
He was very worried, and so we were watching the local news, and they seemed pretty shaken up. So, we saw them point to the ceiling, and they said they heard something. So that's when we headed downstairs.
Chuck and Sandy on
Yes.
Channel 25,
Yeah.
yes.
So.
And Dean, can you talk to me for just a moment? What did you remember about the tornado?
The house was just shaking and it was like jumping, and I just hold it like coming a little.
Did your mom hold you real close and take care of you?
Yeah, but I scooted as far as I can.
Scooted to where?
To the wall, and I didn't know how the glass got out or something.
The glass broke in the house? Okay. Well, Dean, I'm glad to see you're here, okay? Now, you had a little inquisitiveness in you.
Yeah. So they're under the sink. I'm next to the sink. I grabbed a blanket. They kind of went under, of course. I went up, and a truss saved me from being sucked in, thankfully. Messed up my shoulder pretty bad.
Is that dislocated?
Actually, no, it's cracked.
Cracked.
Yeah, and then I've got a cracked vertebrae in the T11, wherever that is.
It's somewhere in his
hurts.
back because he has a
It's in the
brace
lower
on. I
back.
can tell you
Yeah,
that.
it's not
But
fun.
you're okay.
Yeah, it's painful, but I'm alive is basically it. And I'm glad I had to sustain the worst injuries, for sure.
Ashley, did you feel your husband being pulled away?
Yeah, I did. I felt a sucking, moving feeling. It was weird, and I thought he was unconscious until he told me that he'd actually been sucked up into it. And I knew exactly what he was talking about right when it happened, because I do remember that feeling.
And what did you lose that was most important?
I don't know. My wedding ring, probably for me, was
Your
the most
wedding
important.
ring?
Yeah.
Did you find anything that might have been important?
Yeah, we did. Actually, our neighbors did, and we couldn't thank them enough. We had a safe with, birth certificates, our passports, which we have planned a cruise to go on at December 22nd, and of course, it's impossible to get passports. They don't care about the tornado excuse. They want their, so we got them, though.
And we need to add, he did lose his wallet, but that can be replaced.
That can replace. Thanks. Yeah.
Joey Davison, Ashley Davison, Dean, thank you so much. We are just pleased that you are here in one piece.
Thank you.
And we are looking for support from all you. There's Dean. Smile, Dean. Go ahead, smile for us, okay? Please help support those in need here in Central Illinois. Now here's Chet Tomczyk.
Thank you, H. This is one of the great pleasures that we have here tonight working for the Red Cross. Savario Fato and Michelle Hubble from PwC, previously known as Price Waterhouse, for those of you who don't know. Thank you. Now, you have a presentation to make for the Red Cross.
We do indeed. We wanted to present on behalf of the PwC Charitable Foundation a check for $25,000 for the American Red Cross.
Outstanding. Now, what possesses a company like PwC to make a contribution like this? This is so outstanding.
Well, the community has been great to us. We have a number of employees that have been impacted in one way or another. Our clients are impacted by this, and we just feel it's the right thing to do to give back to the community.
Great. Yeah, I couldn't say it better, Michelle. This community has been very good to us, to our firm, to Michelle and I personally, and this is the least that we can do to show our support.
Well, that's a very tangible and a fantastic way to do it, and I think that takes the total for tonight somewhere in the neighborhood of $500,000, if not over. So thank you for all you've done here. And are you guys about ready to go back to H now? You got more stuff coming up? If you are, thank you very much, and back to you, H.
And we are with two more meteorologists on my left, your right, Carissa Sanford of Channel 31, who was on for a long time Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, about 3.5 to 4 hours. We were on wall to wall. It was an incredible experience, that's for sure.
And Sandy Gallant, who works over at Channel 25. And let's start with the first question has to be, I was watching, and I was watching you too, Carissa, but I was going back and forth.
As long as you were watching
your viewing
somebody,
habits, H.
You were staying safe.
I watched you down in the basement.
Good for you. Good
You
for
did
you.
the right thing.
But
That's right.
I saw you and Chuck,
Right.
and there was something in your eyes when you looked back at that, and then you heard
Yeah.
something, and then your eyes told me you're in trouble.
Yeah, no kidding. So here's what we knew. In the 10 minutes leading up to that event, we knew that there was a tornado warning in effect for Tazewell County. In watching the radar on my computer, I could see what was taking shape, which was a very well-defined hook echo. And a hook echo is something that we looked for on a radar that's basically, it's a tornado vortex signature. It's telling us, it's showing us that there's rotation taking shape. So as I'm looking at the map, I can see some rotation taking shape right over the Marquette Heights area. And at that point, while I'm talking, I'm telling viewers of the warning, the areas that are suspected and in danger. And then I said, you know what? Oh, there we go. I'm looking at the video right now. At that point, I turned my head and I could hear something. And what I heard was the sound of a roar, a thunderous roar that was not ending. It was getting louder and louder and closer and closer. And I looked at Chuck and I said, you know what? We've got to go. It's time to take shelter for us right now.
You've explained in words, but in your gut, what are you thinking, really?
In your heart? In my heart, I knew we were in imminent danger. In my heart, I knew we were very close to something extremely dangerous. I knew what I was hearing was the most violent storm on the planet, and I knew I had to take shelter at that point.
Carissa, explain to me a little bit about how these tornadoes form, because we saw the front come through,
Right.
and it wasn't a very big front. I mean, it looked fairly narrow. It was running northeast to southwest primarily. What is there a front, a cold and hot air? What's happening?
Yeah, we knew even several days beforehand. We started looking at the storm system. It looked like spring. If you stepped outside on Sunday morning, you could feel the warmth and the moisture in the atmosphere, and that's not what we normally feel in November. You get all of that warm, moist air, and then you get this powerful winter surge behind a cold front. And when those two air masses intersect, that gives you the power, that gives you the lift that you need to see thunderstorms like that. And as that cold front came through, we started to see those individual storm cells developing near our area. And as they started popping up and getting stronger, then they formed in that line. And that's what started near Pekin as that EF2 and then continued to charge northeast, growing into an EF4 near Washington.
But the other thing about Sunday that was especially different were the winds.
Yes.
We had a high wind warning that
All
day.
morning.
So we had incredible surface winds, extremely strong surface winds that were agitating the atmosphere. But what was also happening aloft that we couldn't see or feel was that the jet stream was so powerful. And so when you have a powerful jet combined with a cold front, that warm, humid air in place, now you've got the ingredients to create supercell thunderstorms with rotation. And that is why we had a significant tornado outbreak.
When did you come into the station, Carissa?
I came in at about 9:30 in the morning, and I was there easily into the evening.
So you knew an hour and a half before the tornado that we had a problem.
The watch, I believe, was issued around 8:45 in the morning, and 3 words: particularly dangerous situation. From the Storm Prediction Center.
It's a
And-
bad phrase.
Yeah.
Particularly dangerous situation. And with that, we're going to say thank you to Sandy Galan
My
of Channel
pleasure.
25, Carissa Sanford of Channel
It
31.
was great to be here.
And now, the mayor of Peoria with Chet Tomczyk.
Wow, I'm here with Peoria Mayor Jim Ardis. Jim, we just got missed here.
Well, I tell you what, Chet, there's a lot of people that are thanking God for different things over the last few days, and Peoria got very lucky that we dodged this one. And
Now, you are good friends with Gary Manier,
I am. Gary's a very good friend of mine.
and you guys communicate. I mean, obviously, there was a lot of first responder help from Peoria out that way. So, what happened with that?
Well, Gary is a good friend of mine, and Gary really has kind of been a mentor to me just because of his longevity and his leadership in Washington for all these years. But when my mother-in-law was almost at ground zero when this happened, and when my wife Mimi and my son Michael and I got over there a few minutes after the tornado hit, we realized how bad it was, and I called the city manager, Patrick Urick, and we said, we need to get some resources over here because they're going to need them. And we sent some first responders, police and fire, and trying to help out any way we could.
And the police are still continuing to be there and helping out.
Yeah, the police department's still over there trying to help out and try to fill in some of the gaps for them.
Well, I think we're trying to follow the TV stations in Peoria, trying to follow the example that you're setting and others here, and helping our neighbors as much as we can, and that's what this is all about. But you were telling me a great story. Speaking of your mother-in-law, she was right there at ground zero. Tell that story. That's a fantastic story. Unbelievable.
Well, my mother-in-law is, her husband is deceased a few years ago, and she loves Washington. My wife grew up there. It's an awesome community, and she wanted to stay there after Dick passed. And when she just had her knee, she's 82 years old, and she just had her knee replaced about a month ago. And she's an amazing lady. 2 or 3 days after the surgery, she was out working in her yard. But she didn't, for whatever reason, I don't know if she didn't want to negotiate the stairs, but she decided to just weather it in the living room. And she sat down with her cat, Jezebel, and she said when the big picture window that was a few feet away blew in, she knew it was going to be a bad storm. She closed her eyes, and she heard that, everybody talks about that freight train sound. She said, I closed my eyes when I heard that, and when it ended, she opened her eyes, and by the grace of God, she didn't have a splinter or a glass shard on her, but her house was basically gone around her. And
She's very fortunate.
Yeah.
Well, with all the help that's coming from Peoria, it's not just the first responders, but it's all the people on the phone here. And when you look at the phones, whenever somebody puts a phone down, it rings again. This is a very giving community.
We have all these telethons. We have just name them off, all the different people that have the telethons. And you go through those spots where it's kind of quiet. And since I've been here, the phones haven't stopped, and that is so awesome for Central Illinois to just keep that up. And we all have our little edges around different issues in town that we get sensitive to every once in a while, good, bad, and different. But probably the thing that separates this community, Central Illinois, literally from any other community in the country, is how when something like this happens, and this doesn't happen very often, but any issue happens, we all come together as one family. And right now, all I can tell you is everybody I've talked to since Sunday afternoon, all they want to do is support our friends in East Peoria, in Pekin, in Washington. Anybody that has had to gone through this, they want to help. And you can't help but love this community for that.
Right. Well, Mayor, I want to say thank you to you for your leadership, and to Patrick Urich, and to all of the first responders that continue to help, and to all the people that call in. But I have a personal question for you now.
Okay.
When is Washington Street going to be done?
Well, a couple of the people here asked me that earlier today, and I think it's gonna the big part of it's gonna get opened in December. So, but it's all gonna remember how long it was when we redid I-74. Everybody thought it was gonna be forever, and now we forget about it. But just to switch back, my heart goes out to Mayor Menier and to his administrator, Tim Gleason, and to Chief Sutton. Nobody really understands the dynamic of this kind of pressure on a community like Washington. I mean, if same thing happened in Peoria, it would stress us just like it does Washington. But you know what? They're going out there every day, and they're saying, we're going to make it better for our residents. We're going to respond to them, and we're going to rebuild, and we're going to be back. And all my respect goes out to those folks in Washington, and to you, and to everybody else that's doing this.
We know it's returned to you, that respect, so thank you very much.
All right, thanks, Chad.
Okay, we're going to go back to Sandy now.
Thanks, Chad.
And we are joined by two representatives from Deloitte to really show their support for the survivors of the tornadoes. And you think about the aid that is coming in. We have our friends helping us here in Central Illinois, but there are also corporations that are known here in the United States. Deloitte is one of them. Two representatives from Deloitte, Kim and Doug. You're from Pittsburgh. You came in from Pittsburgh, and you came in from Chicago. And why is this area important to you all, and what are you guys feeling right now?
Well, the area is very important to us. Obviously, Central Illinois is a very important area of the state for us, as well as really work with a lot of people here in the local area, supporting obviously Caterpillar and the many other fine organizations and corporations that are based in this area. And so it's important to us to support the families in need at this obviously tragic time.
There's a lot of attention on Pekin, East Peoria, Washington, those areas that have been devastated by these tornadoes. And you all had a chance to visit the Marigold City today, to visit Pekin. Tell me your firsthand account of what you saw.
It was unbelievable. I saw pictures in Pittsburgh on Monday, starting Monday, and then I arrived here yesterday. Words can't describe. It's just unbelievable.
What was really impressive was the American Red Cross, obviously volunteers. So we were able to ride with an emergency response vehicle today in Pekin, and then we're able to go to Washington afterwards. And just the pure volunteerism, I mean, over 200 people volunteering their time and their efforts to help the community was really second to none. I mean, I believe the Central Illinois chapter, the Red Cross, is just so lucky and fortunate to have such great leadership in Ann Fox and John Warfold and Aaron Miller and a number of individuals that we have the opportunity to interact with day in, day out.
And you guys were generous enough to open your hearts with this incredible donation today. Tell us how you guys came to this number.
Yeah, just on behalf of all the professionals of Deloitte across the U.S., there's 60,000 professionals and 250,000 worldwide. We determined that obviously this is a very important event, and all disasters we try to support through our organization, and decided to donate $25,000 to the effort. In addition, we created an online campaign for all of our professionals to make their own individual gifts to the American Red Cross of Central Illinois.
Keep it going. Keep the support and giving spirit up. We really appreciate that, speaking for all of the people in Central Illinois.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
you taking the time.
Awesome. All right. Great. Let's go ahead and throw it back over to H.
Thank you to Carissa. Thank you to Sandy. And you know what? We didn't have a long enough time to talk earlier with the Davison family, so I asked Ashley and Dean to come back. And Dean, when did you know that there was really, really bad weather?
When it was really dark.
It was dark outside. Were you watching the television or your iPad, or what were you doing?
I was watching the iPad and the television. I went downstairs. I was watching it on the big TV. My power went out, and I was like, we gotta go in the sink or something. I don't know where.
Had to go under the sink? And so did you push him under the sink, or how was that arranged?
Yeah, originally, when we first went down, when we heard the East Peoria had the tornado, we went down there and I set the kids under a sink just for, in case things were falling off the wall, because it was a pretty sturdy sink, and just to see if they would fit. And then we went back on the couch and kind of waited it out. All the power was out, and listened, and then we heard the train. So, yeah.
Where were you after the tornado came through, Dean?
I went to a new house. I think there was probably 2 or 1.
But
two.
But you were down in the basement?
Yeah, but
How did you get out of the basement?
I think there was probably 2 or 1 tornadoes. We went down in the basement.
Dad pulled you out, didn't he?
We just went down.
Who pulled you out?
My dad digged us out.
And he had pulled you out too?
Yeah, he pulled all 3 of us out.
And Hadley, the young daughter that's 1 year old, were you under debris?
Yes, we were under, he said about 15 cinder blocks.
Oh, so, really?
Mm-hmm.
So that accounts for all the bruises and scrapes and cuts.
Mm-hmm.
And your husband's going to be all right?
Yes. Yep. Expect to make a full recovery. I mean, I think that there will probably be pain just with any broken bone, down the line with arthritis and stuff like that. But yep.
And what's the job situation?
He was laid off about a month ago, so nothing there. And I work for District 115. They've been great and helping us out, and plan on going back to work next week. So.
Okay. And you're in school?
Kindergarten.
Kindergarten? Where do you go to school?
Lincoln Grade School?
Yes, Lincoln Grade School.
Lincoln Grade School, all right.
Hasn't been that long.
Yeah. Well, it's first year in school, Mom, come on.
Oh, he loves it.
What did you think after the storm? I mean, were you very thankful that everybody was okay?
I was like, I did not know how we made it past that.
You didn't know how you got past that? I mean, it scared you that much?
Like, God protected us. I don't know how.
Well, sometimes he does magical things.
He does.
Okay.
Yes.
Ashley and Dean, thank you so much, and we're glad again that you're with us tonight.
Oh, thank you. Thank you
and
so much.
we hope that you can support the cause here by calling, and if it's a busy line or if you're on hold, please call back or wait. The phone operators will get to you. We're extremely busy tonight. We really appreciate that, and I know Gene appreciates that. So keep those phones ringing. You know, it's been a joint effort. The news teams at Channel 25, Channel 19, Channel 31, Fox 43 have all been working very hard. But you know what? The sports departments also helped out. Here's one story from Jim Matson.
Lynn really started picking up, and she just said, hey, we've got to get in the basement right now. I was eating a little bit of lunch, carried it with me downstairs, went around the corner, inside wall in a stairwell, and within less than a minute, everything started collapsing inside the house. Cracking, a sputter, and then next thing we know, it's light inside the house. Those are our two vehicles sitting across in the field over there, one of which was inside of our garage at the time.
It was in your garage, and now it's
the gray one
100 yards away?
Yeah, probably close to it.
It's amazing. This is your house behind us.
It is our house behind us.
But you're safe.
We are. We are indeed. We're grateful for that. I see a lot of people's lives incredibly disrupted right at the moment. But you know what? I haven't heard of any injuries, and houses can be rebuilt, but people can't. So we're praising the Lord for His protection on us and everybody else that's involved with this. But it is, you see it on your TV programs and you can't believe it, and you sit right in the middle of it and you still can't believe it.
Let's take a look at the total so far, $531,000, and let's add $318 just for good measure. $500,000 plus so far just this evening. You are reaching out to help your neighbors. All of us say thank you so much. Let's continue to see if we can't push that towards the 7-digit figure. And the phones are all busy right now. Once again, a busy signal, call back. If you're on hold, they'll get to you. They'll get to you. They're working very hard. Now, we've been talking a lot about television tonight. Channel 25, Channel 31, Channel 47. Let's not forget our radio brethren. And from WCBU, Peoria Public Radio, here's Alex Rusciano.
Thank you so much, H. And I'm here joined right now with Jonathan Munkin. He is director of the Illinois Emergency Management Agency. And Director Munkin, first of all, thank you so much for taking the time and being here tonight.
Oh, absolutely. It's such a good cause, and what an amazing effort that we've already seen tonight to be over $500,000. It's not surprising, but it's so heartwarming to see the outpouring of support from the entire community. So I'm just glad to be part of it.
Absolutely, and of course you're probably one of the busiest people in the state right now. You and your staff working very hard. One of the big things that you were mentioning for the people who are affected in Washington and in the Central Illinois is that you and your staff are going from door to door, neighborhood to neighborhood, and doing property damage assessments. Can you just talk about where do things stand right now with property damage assessments in Washington and Pekin and elsewhere?
Absolutely. So what we've seen so far is we're about 75% of the way through what we call initial damage assessments, where the locals are really digging in, getting a sense for how bad it is and what's out there. And right now what we've already seen is statewide there are 1,484 homes that were either completely destroyed or so badly damaged that they're uninhabitable. And that's a tremendous number. It just shows you the extent of impact that we have all over the state right now. So this need is as great as it's ever been. And then tomorrow we'll have FEMA on the ground to help us with preliminary damage assessments to dig a little deeper, get more information. So starting at 2 o'clock tomorrow, we'll be in Washington and all over the state to do those assessments, and it's a very important part of the process.
And absolutely, you know, residents here in Washington and in Central Illinois can benefit from not only different contributions, but can you talk about what is the importance of you and your staff doing those property damage assessments? Can you just talk about how this helps people affected with insurance and with claims and just with getting federal assistance?
Absolutely. From our perspective, it's the most important part of actually getting that federal assistance is making sure that we have all the information that we need so that we can make a complete and accurate assessment and report to FEMA to really give them a good understanding of how significant the damage is and how long of a road we have ahead of us for recovery. So I can't overstate the importance of people reporting to local authorities, whether it's it's law enforcement, emergency management. If you have damage on your home, you need to report that so we know about it. Take pictures, track all of it, account for all of it, document it, and so important because that's how we can focus all of our efforts going forward.
Jonathan Munkin directs the Illinois Emergency Management Agency, and Director 2, can you just talk about, you were just mentioning that going from community to community, it seems like you see the same kind of pattern or same damage all over the place. How does the last week rate in your professional experience in terms of what you've seen?
You know, it's hard to put into words just because I've had an opportunity to see multiple types of disasters here in Illinois, whether it's tornadoes and blizzards and floods. I've had certainly experience on the other side of the world in Iraq in a combat zone, but to see what I've seen now over the last few days, to go to areas of the state that are hundreds of miles apart and yet have suffered the same devastation is just heartbreaking, but it just brings to focus the importance of what we have in front of us, the importance of the task and the job that we have to do, and why we really need to redouble our efforts, bear down and make sure that we're helping these people that are so desperately in need.
And Director Munkin as well, as you mentioned, one of the most important things is for people out there, if they've been affected to report damage. But can you just say what are some of the what's the one thing in 10 seconds or less that you want people to remember?
Well, safety is the most important thing. So people are going into their homes to recover some of their possessions. We want to make sure that no matter what, they stay safe. We have more weather coming in now. The temperatures are dropping. The winds will be high in the next couple of days when we have unstable structures. So the most important thing we can say is be safe.
Back to you. Thank you.
The former mayor of East Peoria, Jeff Gabelhausen, along with Alex Rusciano of WCBU Radio. And we want to remind you the phones are busy. Some of our phone operators have been here 2 hours now. They'll get to you. Keep calling. If you get a busy signal, stay on if you're on hold. There you see how busy they are right now. They are going to get to you. We appreciate the support. Now, let's turn our attention to the actual physical plant, the house, the business, what have you. I'm joined by Steve Driscoll, who is with the Mental Construction and Restoration, not rehabilitation, restoration. And I'm also joined by Terry Rulin, who is with the Home Builders Association. We're going to talk to you in just a moment, but first, we need houses that are capable of being restored. How do you go about doing that?
Well, one of the first things that we do is someone calls our office, and it's called a board up. And right now we're in emergency mode. So we want to take any home or business that is restorable, or even in some cases can be habitable at some point down the future. We want to clean up the property. We want to secure the property, board up any windows. We want to dry in the roof. We want to make sure the place is safe if it is going to be habitable at some point. We want to protect it from the elements, and we also want to protect it from anyone who doesn't belong there.
Do you do that in conjunction with the homeowner, or does the homeowner just say, try to save my house, or do you work hand in hand?
We work hand in hand, but after being in business for 36 years, what we don't want to do is we don't want to give someone false hope, number one, and number two, put our team at any type of safety risk if it's structurally unsound. So we've got to go in with our experience and let them know that maybe it's possible. So let's not waste money trying to salvage something that isn't going to be salvaged. But in some cases, what we want to do is we want to protect the home or the business so that we can go in there and retrieve their personal items.
How busy are you right now?
We're very busy. We've had 136 emergency calls for Washington. We were not allowed in there Monday, so between yesterday and today, we've completed 71 emergency projects.
Sealing them up?
Correct.
Okay. Terry Rulin is with the Home Builders Association. You're a home builder yourself.
I am.
What is the Home Builders Association?
Peoria Home Builders Association is made up of suppliers, builders, trade contractors, and associate members who handle things like insurance and any number of things related to building a home.
And the association, I assume, keeps tabs on the various contractors around town?
We do. Actually, if you were to go to PeoriaHBA.com, you'll find a listing of all of our members and the categories of work that they do, whether they're new home builders, remodelers, restoration specialists like Menolds, as well as the ancillary companies that feed into our business.
So I'm quite sure that we need to worry about scam artists in the aftermath of this storm.
We're being made aware that already in Washington there's a number of out-of-state vehicles that are not part of the Home Builders Association, are not part of a local network of known entities. So we do have some fears that there can be scams, there can be people taken advantage of. If you're asked for a lot of cash up front, if you're promised to be moved to the top of the list because of a cash payment, if you're asked to do work without a contract, there are so many things that can tip you off that you may be dealing with somebody that's not quite so reputable.
So look for a reference?
Look for references. That's a very important safeguard. The biggest thing that you can do is to try to find a physical address for the company you're dealing with, that they are local, that they are in the neighborhood, they have a building, an office that you can call and verify that they are doing business in the area. And we want them to be, we'd love to see that there are members of the Home Builders Association, because it means our group's been around since 1959. Most of the people in it have been members of ours for a long time. They're chances good that the members of our association coached your kid in a football game or played baseball with you when you were in grade school. They're local folks that grew up here and they're a part of your community.
Let me go back to Steve real quickly. And you've seen some evidence already of this?
Correct. Myself and my team were in Washington on the South Main Street exit, trying to be the first ones in. We thought it was a 7 a.m. curfew lift, and we already had a list of 50 to 100 people to get to. We were not allowed in, so we sat there. And in turning, going back to Pekin and East Peoria to service our customers there, I would guesstimate that the people in line, every third or fourth license plate was an out-of-state contractor.
Steve Triscoll of Menold Construction and Restoration, and to Terry Rulin of the Home Builders Association, thank you so much for the update and for letting us know about the scams. I really appreciate that. Now let's go back to radio again, and here's Tanya Kuntz, the news director at WCBU Peoria Public Radio.
Thank you, H. I'm here with Paul and Carrie Kroenke. You guys are Washington residents. You've lived there for almost a decade. Sunday, you had the experience of living through the tornado. Your structure, your home is still standing.
Yeah. Right.
Yes, but you are not able to reside there.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about where this stands for you now.
Well, right now we're staying with some friends who, even before they knew anything was wrong, invited us to stay with them. So that's kind of first most important thing.
So you had a place to go fairly immediately.
Right.
At what point did you know that you were going to have to depart your house and not be able to come back there for a while?
I think when we walked out of our house was still standing. We looked and we saw, okay, we think we're okay. We opened the door and he said, you have to come look at this. The house across the street is gone. And from all the way down the rest of the block is gone. And we were like,
and then we started realizing we had some, gaping holes in our walls too, so.
Talk about what it's like to be displaced from your home at this moment in time.
It's kind of a little bit of a pain. It hasn't been bad. The people have been great. They feed us. They said, you guys are family. You're not company. And so they've been fantastic, and they've been wonderful to us.
You would attribute this to the Midwest spirit, I would assume.
Yes. Yes.
All right. So, do you know what the future holds, the immediate future holds for you guys? Finding housing, progressing forward with your insurance agent, how all of that might go in the next, say, 48 hours?
We hope to meet with an insurance adjuster in a couple of days here and have a better idea of, what our next step is. We do have some leads on some temporary housing, so we're fortunate in that. And
we are so much more fortunate than so many people, around us who have nothing. They lost their house and their vehicles and everything that they own. And, for the most part, while our houses, you can't live there, the rest of our life is intact, our stuff, and we can replace that.
Right.
And so we feel very blessed that it wasn't a lot worse.
And we were able to go back in and get clothing and some personal items, and our neighbors are out there picking through the rubble of their homes, just looking for anything that they could find. So we've been very fortunate.
That has to be just terribly difficult to see.
Yes.
It is. And the thing about Washington is everybody pulled together. As soon as people started coming out of their houses, they're like, we've got to go look and see where everybody else is, making sure everybody else is okay. And that is the total Washington community spirit. And that's awesome.
So there are T-shirts now that say Washington Strong.
Yes.
And that's what that refers to, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's
Absolutely. Your neighbors, their first concern, your first concern was your neighbors, doing the head check, the head count of everybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Talk about that. Your basement was a place that people joined.
Well, because we still had a basement, or we still had a structure around us that people could come to, and people were coming out of their homes without shoes or things like that. And
We wish you well, and we thank you for taking the time to be with us this evening.
Thank you.
Carrie, Paul, best to you both.
Thanks.
We'll go back to H now. H.
Let's take a look at the total again. 568,008 so far. So far, you're doing very well, Central Illinois. Remember, this is for the people that have been displaced from their homes and their businesses in Pekin, in East Peoria, in Washington, in the areas around Roanoke, Benson, and Metamora, and up to Dana, and even up to Long Point. The American Red Cross is on the scene. They've got the volunteers. They've got some materials. They need more. They need our help, all of our help. We appreciate what you've done so far. Taking a look at all the phones here, you can see that we're busy. Please give us a call back if you get a busy signal. We need that help. And I know we've got big help coming, and Chet Tomczyk is going to tell us about it.
Well, thank you, Abe. I think we got a microphone. Yeah. I am really pleased to have another group of folks here, Mike Jankowski and friends from the Allstate group and from the Allstate Foundation. Mike, who you got with you tonight?
This is Lori Feld from Peoria, Chuck Hubert from Peoria. We've got Brian Burwell from Peoria, and Sang Sapanavan from Washington, Illinois, and myself, Mike Jankowski. I'm from Washington, Illinois with Allstate.
This is very personal for you then.
Absolutely.
Coming from Washington.
Yeah, it's, I know it's, words can't describe the things that I know we've all seen in the last, 48 hours of, being out in the community now. And, I'm glad the ball's rolling in the right direction and people are getting the help they need.
Did you have any damage yourself personally?
Very light. And thankfully the office was unscathed on what area of Washington that it's located in.
Well, you've got a check here for $25,000 for the Red Cross, and that is going to be just fantastic, helping out your friends and neighbors and your customers, clients in the Peoria, East Peoria, Metamora, Washington, on and on and on. Was it a 46-mile stretch we saw that tornado just tore across there, and over 1,000 homes? And how do you handle that as an insurance company?
I can tell you we've got a lot of people on the ground, and we've got a mobile unit located closest to where in Washington the most impact took. It's in the, I think I said the Cherry Tree Shopping Center, and a great place that you can stop by and get assistance, or by contacting your agent, and we'll do everything we can to take care of you.
Well, you guys do fantastic. I was looking for Dennis Haysbert, but you had the mayhem through here, you said.
Already been here. Mayhem's already been here. Yeah.
Been here. Okay. And so what do you do now? I mean, this is the short term when the people are coming in and filing claims, but how do you handle this for the long run? What goes on with the long run?
Oh, no doubt about it. This is the process is just beginning. So, and as the steps are starting, the process will be outlined as far as what to expect. And right now we're worried about: do you have food? Where are you living? What can we do to get a check in your hand so you don't have to worry about where you're going to lay your head tonight? So, if there's any of those concerns, again, stop by the mobile unit, call us. Of course, as an Allstate insured, and we'll get you taken care of.
Great. Well, thank you again for your generosity and for this marvelous, marvelous contribution to the American Red Cross. Now we're going to throw it back over to that side of the room.
Okay. And thank you so much. I'm here with State Representative Mike Eunice. And Representative Eunice, can you talk about the Central Illinois area in which you represent. Just a week and a half ago, yourself, Mayor Menier from the city of Washington, Mayor Dave Mingus, were all celebrating the connection between the town of Washington and the town of East Peoria via Centennial Drive, a very prominent road. And we were just talking about how in a matter of days, the entire landscape between the two towns has changed. Can you just talk about your experiences about that?
Right, sure. That's a great point. I mean, it was a great celebration of a major project that's been going on for several years, was ending its completion, and here what everybody was celebrating. And it's just amazing. It's been said many times tonight how this puts things in perspective and how lives change in an instance. And you just never know. And I think that's a great point. But, you know, I think what's key here, and you look at what Mayor Menier has gone through, especially Mayor Menier, what he has gone through, and this really has been probably one long day for so many of us, but certainly one long day for Mayor Menier. But true leaders rise to the occasion, and what he has shown here is his true leadership. He's really, you know, shown that he's mayor for an entire region almost. Everyone's kind of rallying behind him, and I know Mayor Barra and Pekin and Mayor Mingus and East Peoria all are just doing so much and so much good for this entire region.
And you can hear watching the television right now, the phones ringing off the hook. You can hear all of the interest. But if there are people out there who want to volunteer, if there are people either who want to help out East Peoria, Washington, can you just talk about what are some of the ways that you'd recommend people do that?
Well, first of all, it's a great sound, isn't it? I mean, almost $600,000 or maybe close to $600,000 raised. It's just so great to see what has happened in the past few days in this community come together. And our phones have been ringing off the hook with volunteers wanting to help out, and we try to keep people posted on volunteer options via Facebook. I've been trying to keep people posted on Facebook, but if there's you know, ever a need, we'll continue to follow up. But it's a good problem to have, I guess, when you have so many volunteers. I think, and this has been mentioned earlier tonight too, but it cannot be mentioned enough. And I think that's what we have to remember is this, what we're experiencing right now, that this need is going to be here 2, 3, 4, 5 months down the road, and we can't forget about that either. It's real easy right now, you know, days after the impact, but so many families are affected that they're going to need our help for months to come.
That was State Representative Mike Eunice taking a time, and we want to thank you very much for taking the time. And now we have a special message from David Commande with the Heartland Festival Orchestra.
All of us at the Heartland Festival Orchestra have been deeply saddened and greatly concerned for our friends and our neighbors in Washington and its surroundings who now face huge challenges in recovering from this terrible storm. Washington welcomed us from the start with the warmest and most generous hospitality. Not only do we enjoy Five Points Washington as our performing venue, but many of Washington's residents open their homes and their hearts to HFO musicians for overnight stays on concert weekends. The scope of recovery efforts needed now, needed next, present an immense challenge. But I know that Washington is a can-do town. Washington will rise, rebuild, and surpass itself. But what comes next is hardest, and it's time for us to offer every bit of help that we can. So join us, join them. Let's all pitch in and get to work. Thank you, Central Illinois, and God bless you.
Well, it's interesting. I got a call at home last night, kind of late, and it was David. And David said, hey, I'm not in Peoria. He was in Hong Kong or Singapore. Yeah, he's in Singapore, and said, I really want to be part of this. I can't get back, but I would like to do a little video, which he did there. And so, David, thank you for doing that. And he did the next best thing. He sent his son, Bo, and Alicia Cordoba Tate, and they're going to do a number for us here from the HFO folks who are headquartered in Washington. And so thank you for your talent and for sharing and for making these phones ring. It's all yours.
We use the musical interlude not only to entertain you, but it also gives us just a moment to sit back and relax and gather our thoughts and focus on why we're here. And that is to make sure that those families in need in Central Illinois are getting help directly from us. That's why we're dealing with the Peoria-based American Red Cross to make sure that the money turns into the needs of those families in short order. In order to help you out, we brought in a fresh crew of phone operators. They're ready to take your calls. Keep them busy this evening. We appreciate the support, and we've got more coming your way. But let me tell you that I've been asking you for support all night long, but I thought it might be more appropriate and more meaningful if Senator Bill Brady asked for your support.
Good evening. I'm Senator Bill Brady, and let me start by saying thank you to WTVP and the Red Cross for hosting tonight's telethon. The proceeds from tonight's telethon will go to help so many needy people who are suffering after the tragic tornado that hit our community. Tonight we need your help. We need the help of people who are viewing to contribute to the people who suffered so badly in this tragedy. We also tonight need to thank those who've given so much assistance to those in need over the last several days. The City of Washington, its police department and fire department, IEMA and its support services, the utility companies, and all the volunteers from other supporting services in surrounding areas who came to the rescue of our friends in Washington. But ladies and gentlemen, more needs to be done. And tonight I'm asking you to join Nancy and I in making a contribution to the Red Cross, a contribution that will go to help our friends and our neighbors as they recover from this devastating tragedy. Please join Nancy and I in making a contribution tonight to the Red Cross, knowing that you're helping a fellow citizen and a neighbor. Thanks, and God bless.
Well, we are back. One of my favorite parts of this is check presentations. But before we go into this terrific check presentation that's coming up, we'd like to say a very special thank you to Glenn and Polly Barton for their very generous contribution, because when there's anything going on in the community, they are always up there first and foremost. So Glenn and Polly, thank you for your contribution, your personal contribution. But now we have Sue Portscheller and Bruce Adler. Bruce is the branch manager of the Washington branch of CEFCU, and Sue is the vice president of marketing, and you have a very special presentation.
I do. I have a presentation, a pretty nice check, and I can say that we were so happy to give this money to Central Illinois. No hesitation on the part of our senior staff and our board, and I do this in memory of all of our members. We have families, we've got members, and we have employees that are all living in these impacted areas. So in addition to this check, which I haven't really shared yet, we have a donation from our credit and debit card processor, PSCU. They're going to be sending a pledge of $10,000 this week. So we're really appreciative of that.
Well, all right, we have a drum roll here if we had a drum, but would you like to show us what this check is going to be for from CEFCU?
Well, it's our pleasure to present our check for $100,000.
Wow, outstanding. $100,000. Thank you so very much to you and to all of the members of CEFCU. Now, Bruce, you're the manager of the Washington branch.
That's right.
And you must have been hit awfully hard. Your members hit awfully hard there.
We have heard a lot of sad stories already this week, but we've heard of a lot of miracles also. So it's just amazing how this community is coming together, and acts of kindness and the concern, I mean, from the community and just all the surrounding area, it's just been phenomenal.
Well, your check is going specifically for the rebuilding, for the relief, the rebuilding of people in Washington and East Peoria, right here in Central Illinois, this whole area of Central Illinois. We have your branches.
That's correct.
This is CEFCU land, right?
This is CEFCU land. Thank you for remembering that. Very good, Chet. Thanks.
Yeah, well, we know.
Yes.
And now, are you still on the ICC board?
I am, yes.
And so a lot of this area is also part of the ICC community as well. How does all this impact ICC?
Well, ICC has a pretty extensive plan on what they're doing to help employees and students. They've set up, showers available for people in their Cougarplex and a number of things that they're going on as well. But they serve all this area as well. I mean, Central Illinois is really the heart of where their students are coming from, just like our members. We probably have 3 out of 4 households are CEFCU members in the areas that are impacted. So, there was no hesitation that we want to step up in a big way to help people in our community, in our hometown, and in our headquarters right here. So, and we've done a number of things at Bruce's branch as well as at our main office to try to streamline what we're doing for members that are impacted, so they can call our emergency response team. We've set up a team so we can go through, do you have a home mortgage on that house? Do you have a consumer loan on that car that now is like on the neighbor's yard? Do you need new checks? Do you have your Visa card? Do you have your debit card? So we can go through that whole checklist. And at Bruce's branch in Washington, they'll be open Sunday, and we've never done this, but they're going to be open Sunday from 12 to 4 this coming Sunday and next Sunday, just to sit down and help people in Washington with all their financial needs and their concerns.
Well, thank you very kindly for that, and we would challenge all the CEFCU members to join in with CEFCU with this marvelous $100,000 check to make your pledge of support to the American Red Cross. The lines are busy, but you call, you're going to get heard today, so thank you very much. Yeah. Now let's go over to Tanya Coons from WCBU. Tanya.
Thank you, Chet. I have the honor of getting to be here with John Zeiser and Pat Sams. Both gentlemen work for country companies. John is an agent in Mackinac. Pat, you are the agent in Washington.
That's correct.
You guys are lifelong friends, and you both graduated
for a long time.
From Washington High School, right?
Longer than we like to admit.
This is your home.
That's correct. We were born and raised in Washington.
And John, earlier this evening, you were able to present a check on behalf of country. Would you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, Country Financial made a more than I anticipated, a $50,000 contribution to the Red Cross for the relief effort. So was pretty honored to be able to present that.
Pretty amazing to get to do that.
Absolutely.
You've been here since the storm, since almost immediately after the storm?
Yeah, I was there Sunday right after it happened, trying to do what I could to help. And I know Pat and I have both been in the Washington office. We've got a temporary claims office set up right next to his where people can come and turn in claims and meet with adjusters and things like that. So we've been working some long hours. I'm sure I'm speaking for Pat. We're both a little tired, but we keep at it.
He's got that right. This morning we had a meeting with our home office employees, and there was over 50 employees in the office next to ours in order to help people. So.
Wow. And helping people is pretty important because apparently you guys insure quite a few people who live in the Washington area, it seems like.
No, it is, and it's heartwarming to be able to reach out and start giving them checks and helping them rebuild.
Let's talk about some of the claim numbers that you guys are bringing in at this point in time.
Sure. The state of Illinois, Washington obviously was devastated, but there's many other areas in Illinois that were devastated as well. Right now, property and auto claims were about 3,610 as of 2 o'clock this afternoon. 800 of those are in the Washington, East Peoria, Pekin area. So the majority of them are from this area, but there's some all over the state.
Do you anticipate more?
Absolutely. We've been taking calls all day. I've been getting emails all night here of new claims coming in. The majority of the total losses, big claims like that, we've already contacted those people, worked with them. Now we're getting a lot of the smaller claims, shingles off, things like that. And people understand they're not calling and begging someone to come out and look at their shingle that's off. We're taking care of the big things first, but yeah, they continue to trickle in.
It's amazing work that you guys get to do on the other side of something very, very awful. You get to help people put their lives back together after a catastrophe like this one.
Yeah, absolutely. It's rewarding. Some of the people, they come in Monday and we're writing them checks Monday to go get basic essentials, things they need. Their coverage pays for somewhere to live and things like that. So, this is an awful event, but in our role, this is, I guess this is our time to shine. We fulfill those promises we made when we sold those policies. So,
John Zeiser, Pat Sams, both country agents helping the people in Washington recover. Thank you both for taking the time to be here with us. Chet, back to you.
Okay, we are back on this side of the studio, and I'm pleased to introduce a couple of wonderful people from the Altria Group. We have Nicole Kendall and Zach Stamp, and you've got a terrific check you're going to present here to the Red Cross.
We do. As part of Altria's annual disaster giving program, we present this check to the Red Cross to show our support and commitment to the Red Cross and to the people of Illinois.
Outstanding. Zach, tell us a little bit about the Altria Group.
Altria is a company that is a parent company of U.S. Smokeless Tobacco, John Middleton Cigars, Philip Morris. Yeah, I was going to get the correct name there because there are two. Philip Morris is probably what most people would know it as, and then some wineries out in California and Oregon. So
you are good friends with our good friend John Birkeland.
Yes, I know John very well. So I've worked with him on several issues over the years. I'm a lobby in Springfield, so that's why I have a contact with John.
And John is also on our board. Now, I have to tell you, this marvelous check here, this $25,000 check, takes the total raised tonight. I got those gorgeous blue eyes.
Thank you.
To $750,000. So thanks to you for all you've done. And we're going to see if we're ready to go back to H. If you can take it away, H, we're pretty much done here, but thank you all very much for what you've done and for this marvelous, marvelous check. It's going to go a long way toward helping the rebuilding of Washington and all of Central Illinois. So thank you very kindly. Take it away, guys.
There are checks coming in large sums, but really the core of all this is those small contributions from all of you families out there. And I want to introduce you to one of the individuals who was on earlier in the evening answering the phones, a face that maybe you might recognize, but certainly the voice for you old-timers. You'll remember Dan Dermody. You were on the air when and where?
from December of 1986 until May of 2009. About 18 or 19 years at WXCL, which is now called The Wolf here in Peoria, and 5 years at WIRL.
I told you you'd recognize the voice, didn't I? Now tell me about the phones. How busy were the phones tonight?
I've been around radiothons and telethons for years, H, and I've never seen anything like this. You literally hung up the phone and it would ring. You'd hang it up and it would ring. And we've got 20 phones here that have been busy since 5 seconds after this thing started. I watched it when you guys came on the air earlier. Within 5 seconds, every line was lit. I had people telling me, wow, I've had you on redial for an hour and a half or 2 hours, and they finally got through. And what really was surprising to me is they stuck around that long in order to make a pledge. Unbelievable.
So the cause is very important to many, many people out there.
Absolutely, and we had people calling from all over. I had a call from Barrington up by Chicago, and all over, of course, the Tri-County area. And the outpouring, I've never seen anything like this. It just is unbelievable.
When you stop and think about, you volunteered your time, as all of us are, but what did you feel inside when you said, I have an opportunity to help like this?
Well, I have about a half a dozen friends that have lost their homes over in Washington, and some people that were damaged in Pekin and whatever. And it just, I can't get out and get into some of these areas to help physically. And so I just got on the phone. I called Channel 47 the other day and I said, hey, I'm available if you need anybody to help on the phones. And they said, absolutely. So here I am.
You mentioned that you've been involved in telethons and things of this nature for many, many years. We remember seeing you on the air. But you told me earlier that you were amazed at how fast this came together and how fast people are responding.
It's unreal. 2 days, 2 or 3 days, and you folks here at Channel 47 have put this thing together. We had the governor and the lieutenant governor here a while ago. We've got all the state senators and congressmen and city officials and just business people, ordinary people. It's just like, it's unlike anything I've ever seen. It reminded me, we were talking out in the hall a little while ago about 9/11 or 9/11, how the world came together, and the whole country came together. It's a mini 9/11 where the whole area and the whole state, and for that matter, a lot of the country, has focused on this area, and the outpouring of love and support is just, it's unbelievable.
Dan Dermody, voice of Central Illinois, thank you so much for helping out. And one more time, tell them how important it is for them to call.
Absolutely, and if you can get through, the numbers are on the screen, 309-495-0555 or 866-377-0555. Just keep trying. We've got 20 phones that are busy, but eventually you will get through.
From one radio voice to another radio voice, here's Alex Rusciano.
Well, thank you very much. And I'm here with State Senator Dave Kaler. And Senator Kaler and I were just talking about how this has been probably the most powerful storm system that the state has seen in quite a while. And Senator Kaler, I understand you'd like to tell some of the viewers out there about just the effect of the damage of this storm. Can you elaborate a little bit?
Yeah, the storms really hit from one end of the state to the other. I was with the governor this afternoon, and estimates they had were almost 1,500 homes have been destroyed. He's already been in touch with the president. This will be declared a disaster area in all parts of the state that were affected. This is something quite unusual.
And can you talk a little bit about, I know you have traveled the area following these storms, these powerful tornadoes. Can you talk about some of the personal experiences that you've had and the people that you've spoken with?
Well, the one thing that this kind of a crisis always brings out is that people are just very generous, very caring. Sunday afternoon when I was in Pekin walking around, there were already people there helping families with trucks and getting stuff out of the house. I ran into a woman yesterday in East Peoria who really kind of put it all in perspective, and her house had literally been moved and fell on top of a tree. It had moved about 25 feet, and they had to crawl out of the basement with a ladder. So I said, is this your house? And she said, yes. She said, I said, is everybody okay? She says, everybody's fine. She said, this is just stuff. We're fine. That's what's important. But to see the outpouring of support, I think we're going to be very close to $1 million tonight, and that's just what makes Central Illinois, a wonderful place to live, because people care about each other.
And Senator, as well, we've only got about 30 seconds here, but this Central Illinois area has seen so much this year: floods, tornadoes. Can you just talk about the community itself overall and how it responds?
Well, I think that we're just kind of a big, small town, and we've got family, we've got neighbors, we've got friends that we know through all different kinds of activities in work and in church and sports, and so when something happens, a flood or a tornado, we do what neighbors and family does. We come to the rescue, and that's exactly what's happened tonight. Is that people? I mean, the phones are just ringing off the wall here. That ought to make us all feel very proud.
That's State Senator Dave Kaler, and that's really one of the most important things in this community that you've touched on too, is not only the resilience of the community, but people wanting to volunteer, people wanting to respond. And can you just talk about going forward? What's probably the one thing that you want residents of Central Illinois to remember going forward, whether they've been involved or whether they're thinking of getting involved?
Well, I guess what particularly strikes me, and again, after seeing the devastation and talking to the families, this is going to get real tough. It's going to be a long haul. The wintertime, people are not going to be able to rebuild right away. We've got to resolve as a community that we're there every step of the way, that we're with the families that need us. If it takes till next summer to get their housing situation settled, we just need to be there. This community, I know will be up to that task, because this is a caring community.
That was State Senator Dave Kaler. Back to you guys.
Thank you to Senator Kaler. Thank you to Alex Rusciano. And I'm joined now by Andrew Rand of Advanced Medical Transport. Many people know that as AMT, based here in Peoria. A couple of things we want to talk about. The first is, you run an ambulance service Sunday morning, just after 11 o'clock. What happens?
Well, the storm warnings for weather had been really available to our call center for several days, and at a little after 10:45, our headquarters was informed of a tornado touchdown in Pekin. So it's a primary market which we staff paramedic crews in and sent supervisors in, assessed the situation, and while that was going on, the second call came in from the Tazewell Communications Center of a major event in Washington, Illinois, and it was a little bit eerie sensing that multiple tornadoes could be on the ground. And so procedures we have are to begin to set off our pagers, which communicate with employees all across the region. And over the course of the next 2 hours, we assembled 15 paramedic crews, a total of 51 clinical people, 5 additional transport vehicles, and put them on the ground inside the damaged area and also along the perimeter, coordinating with OSF at the Medical Disaster Command Center. During the first 30 minutes to an hour, we transported a dozen people simply driving into town who were seriously injured. And in the following 3 hours, I think we did an awful lot of comfort care and assisting people to a triage center that OSF had set up for minor injuries. But there was an awful lot of coordination in our call center as a result.
How difficult was it to actually get to those who were injured?
It was a mess, and I think, as people will attest to, some streets were very passable, but the streets that weren't would be where a lot of people were injured, and our crews know to stage and go in only when absolutely necessary with the vehicles, because nails and objects bust the tires and we can't use the trucks. So there was a lot of footwork, a lot of working with fire rescue personnel, extricating people from homes, and transporting them. We have a gator and pieces of equipment to move them out to the ambulance. And a lot of front end, that first hour, I would say the most intense injuries were managed, and then it was a steady stream of people who had to be cared for because they were dazed and confused and obviously very emotional. And some of the more minor injuries we were able to concentrate at the command center with OSF at Washington Fire Department.
Not only do you run an ambulance service out of that location, which is just off of Sterling Avenue, but you also are the call center for what is known as 211. Explain 211 in simple terms for our audience.
It's new in Illinois. It's well established in 48 other states. 211 is much like 911 or 411 would be. It is a centralized point to contact for information and referral to organizations that provide health and human care services. 211 is a partnership with our great friends at the Heart of Illinois United Way, who are major funders of the initiative. We rolled it out in May on behalf of the Heart of Illinois. It's been tremendous in leveraging their campaign this year. But the basic underlying telephone triage identifies, based on where you live and what your need is, those organizations and how to contact them, what hours they're open, how to get help to get there if you cannot get there for your basic health and human care needs. And the three biggest issues are emergency shelter, food, and rental assistance and utility assistance. Those are the three big needs generally.
Guess what is happening right now?
Well, and today the City of Washington contacted us to see if we could add a more comprehensive component for the Tazewell County communities of Pekin, East Peoria, and Washington. So we have a 211D line in the center. Just dial 211, it'll go to the same place. And when it's answered by the operators, the special screens come up that have the specific agencies and organizations providing health that we can give them in Tazewell County.
I've been out to your location. It is, you have to be safe there so that you can answer those calls. So tell me a little bit about how you protect yourself.
Gosh, the Parsons manufacturing event a few years ago is what led us to build a F5 tornado-resistant call center. And so it's an above-ground bunker with its own power generation and cooling systems in case we lose power. Cooling systems are all underground, and it is designed to withstand a major hit from a storm. It was an inspiration, the Parsons organization, what they did in advanced planning to make sure that there were shelters for their staff. Our call center staff can't go anywhere in a storm. They got to stay on the radios and the phones and manage the computers and where vehicles are, so it turned out to work good.
Andrew Rand of Advanced Medical Transport, thank you for the help that you've provided to many citizens in Central Illinois, and thank you for being on the program.
Thank you, H. Please donate.
And now let's go over and visit with Tanya Kuntz of WCBU.
Thank you, H. I'm here with Kevin Brown, the basketball coach of Washington High School. Move on in, guys, and get you in the shot. Chris Stevens. You are a junior and a forward at Washington High School. And then Connor Shoki, I got that right?
Shoney.
I messed that up. I'm
It's all
sorry.
right.
I'm
Get
sorry,
all the time.
Connor. And you are a senior center. You are a senior center at Washington High School. You guys both lost, your families lost everything.
Yep, pretty much.
Yes. And you yet are still at basketball practice?
Yep. Yeah. Gotta get back to it.
Yeah?
Feels good to get in the gym, get things off our mind.
Coach Brown, talk about where things stand right now. Your students come back to school tomorrow. These guys go back to the classroom tomorrow. You ready for that?
I mean, kind of. I still gotta get stuff moved in my new house, but I mean, you gotta get back to the normal process. So.
Well, yes, yeah, you're brave.
Yep.
Very brave.
It's gonna be hard to get up early, but it'll be all right.
Rest is important right now, right? Yeah. All right. So your kids are back on the court. They're practicing, and you are preparing for something pretty big coming up.
We have a tournament of champions that starts next week. It's tabbed as the biggest Thanksgiving tournament in all the country, and we're back and forth on whether to do it or not. And I've had so many people from the community that feel we need it, and feel that people that have lost everything, that are coming up and saying, I can't wait until we see what you got coming this year. And so we've made a decision today that we're going to go ahead and go forward with it. And we've got 22 teams coming from Sacramento, Louisiana, all over the country, and we're going to bring them in and try to have the best tournament we can. So we're looking forward to it.
There are some resources that would normally be in place probably in Washington that won't be there for this tournament. How do you guys plan on navigating that?
One of the biggest things is the water with Evan Boiler. So people have been very gracious and got us a lot of water in there, and we think we're okay on that. It's just we probably don't know all the things right now that are going to hit us, but when people called, all 22 teams have reached out on what we can do. We've had contact with every team wanting to help, and can we do labor while we're there? Can we bring something? And I thought it was ironic that the team from Sacramento, California wanted to bring coats for us, and I thought that was ironic that California bringing coats for us. But it's incredible what everybody has stepped up and done.
We're what you guys are doing is fairly amazing too. Chris, Connor, thank you.
Thank you.
Coach Brown, thank you.
Thanks.
You guys, we wish you well in your recovery. Chet, I believe we're going back to you now.
Thank you, Tanya. Heartwarming and very interesting. Thanks to the young men from Washington High School there, and inspirational for all of us. But now I would like to introduce you to one of my favorite people. This is Susan Hoffman. Susan is the executive director of the Peoria Symphony Orchestra, and among other things, in terms of being a friend, she's also, as they say, she's also a tenant here at 101 State Street. Susan, you've got some very special stuff coming up.
We do. The Peoria Symphony is happy to announce tonight that we will be having a concert next Tuesday night. We have put together a concert that is for relief of the victims of the tornado. It will be Tuesday, November 26th. We're working together with the Peoria Civic Center. They are contributing the space. We're all working together to bring together this concert so that our musicians and the people in the community can share their music with the people in the audience and help support the efforts of the relief.
And this is more than just the Peoria Symphony Orchestra, right?
Yes.
What kind of things will people hear, do you think?
Okay, we're going to be playing about an hour's worth of Handel Messiah, and what we've done is we've invited the members of the Peoria Symphony Orchestra to come, so we will have some of our own members. We've also invited a lot of other musicians from Central Illinois, and we are having several choruses and choirs from the area also that will come together. So on the stage, you'll see a mixture of all kinds of musicians and singers who want to share their talents in a way that they can to kind of help the solution and be part of the solution.
Well, Handel's Messiah is a pretty well-known piece, and that's one of those things you really want to sing along with. People have to sit in their seats and be quiet. Are you going to encourage them to participate?
We actually are going to encourage them to participate. So we'll have some words available for them. So at the appropriate time and the appropriate kind of chorus piece, they are invited to sing along. So they really get to be part of the concert.
Okay, and so ticket information is available from the Peoria Symphony Orchestra.
Correct.
And you have a phone number for them or a website?
Sure, they can call 309-671-1096. That's the symphony number. They can go online to peoriasymphony.org. They can come here to the WTVP building and purchase tickets from our box office on site, and they can get them through the Civic Center also.
And all the proceeds go to tornado relief right here in Central Illinois, the American Red Cross.
Correct. We are working through the Red Cross to have all the funds go there. So.
Well, I see you have a friend with you, a very well-known friend, one of our favorite friends. When you talk about the Peoria Symphony Orchestra, you have got to talk about the concert master as a concert mistress. Concert master, and I'll let you do the introductions here.
Great. This is the concert master of the Peoria Symphony Orchestra, Marcia Henry Liebenau, and she has agreed to come down here tonight and play for you a little bit and give you a little bit of a taste of the kind of music. It's not what you're going to hear next Tuesday night, but it's violin music, and that will be part of what you'll hear next week.
And knowing that it's Marcia playing, it's going to be superb. Thank you. Marcia, it's all yours. That was outstanding.
Thank you.
Performance, and the evening continues to roll on here. I'm Alex Rusciano, and I'm joined right now with Tucker Kennedy, who is Ameren's Director of Communications, as well as Kenny Blum with Ameren's Community Relations Department. And Tucker, we were just talking about when a disaster like this happens, Ameren responds. Can you just talk generally, what goes on for Ameren? How many resources, how much does it take to actually get the job done and respond in a situation like this?
Well, there's a lot of preparation, of course, that goes into this, and we have folks on the ground that are monitoring the weather, so we're ready. We get advance notice. We know when something may occur, so we've got our trucks mobilized, we've got materials ready, and when it happens, we deploy resources to the region as quickly as we can, assess the situation, and then start about the process of figuring out how we're going to quickly get people back on. We do that with our own teams within Ameren, Illinois, which is a large company across a big territory, but we're also able to draw in contractors from other utilities. So this is a time really when the utility industry really bands together. There's a lot of teamwork that's involved. So we actually draw in resources from other states, and they come to the territory like they did up here and spend the time that's needed to get the job done safely.
Excellent. And also, Kenny, as Tucker was mentioning, there's so many resources that go into that for Ameren to respond to something like this, for different groups to respond. Can you talk about what does it take from the safety aspect for Ameren to effectively respond to something like this?
When the Emergency Operating Center was activated in our company, which means it's time to report to work, okay, about 11:30 that Sunday morning, the first thing that goes through my mind is safety. Because I'm from Elmwood. We had a tornado 3 years ago. And I was assigned to Washington, so I had to head to Washington that afternoon and get right there with the first responders, because what's on the ground? There's down power lines everywhere. There's blowing gas everywhere. So from a safety standpoint, we got to build relationships with the first responders, whether it be the Public Works Director, IDOT, we've got the state police, and to keep the public safe. And that's priority number one, and everyone did a good job, not just in Pekin and East Peoria, Washington, all over.
And Tucker, too, as Kenny was saying, we've only got about 20 seconds left here, but what is, say, the one thing that you want people to remember in Central Illinois going forward, just from Ameren's perspective? What's, say, the one thing you want people to keep in their minds?
Well, the thing to keep in mind is that in situations like this, safety is paramount. You know, we are going to do our best within our resources to get people back up as quickly as possible, but we're not going to compromise the safety of the residents and our workers. And I think in this instance, we were able to do that quickly and safely.
Tucker Kennedy and Kenny Blum, thank you so much, guys, and back to you.
With State Representative Mike Eunice, who represents the 91st House District in the state of Illinois. Representative Eunice, you represent East Peoria. You are a resident of East Peoria. There's a lot taking place there, a lot of coordination efforts that isn't getting quite as much attention as, say, maybe the mass devastation that is in Washington. But nonetheless, the devastation in East Peoria, that EF4 started in East Peoria. Talk about what's happening on the ground there now.
Sure. Well, you're absolutely right. I mean, there's impacts of the region and pockets all over, and there's been damage in East Peoria. There's been damage in Pekin, and just working with the mayors, and you know, I'll tell you what, in Pekin and in East Peoria, I traveled both those areas.
You represent both of those,
right?
Yes.
And the public works, the street crews have just done a wonderful job. I know in Pekin just yesterday there was overturned cars in a cemetery. All of that was cleaned up already. And in East Peoria, the street crews have just done a wonderful job. So it's really everybody working together, coming together, working with IEMA, who's also been doing a good job.
Wow, they've got an amazing load on their plate right now, kind of a historically large one.
Right, it's not something that you certainly plan for, especially, you know, like we say here in November. A storm like this in November is very unusual. So it certainly puts things in perspective, and I know there's a lot of us that are going to be extra thankful this Thanksgiving, and certainly our prayers will continue to be with those families, and I've said it all night tonight, and I think it deserves to continue to be said that they're going to need us now and in the next weeks, but they're going to need us 4 and 5 and 6 months from now as well.
Right. Rebuilding. Any idea about what that might take in your communities?
Well, it's going to take a lot, and again, it's going to be a lot of areas of government coming together, local, state, and federal. It starts at the local level, and then IEMA comes and steps in, and we're hopeful that FEMA will be there tomorrow and step in. Obviously, the state has declared those areas disaster areas, and I'm confident that it will be done at the federal level as well.
Federal designation is needed, though, now.
Absolutely.
State Representative Mike Eunice, thank you for taking the time to be here, given you have friends and family very impacted by this whole storm situation. State Representative Mike Eunice represents Pekin and East Peoria. Chet, I believe you are with my boss, Tom Hunt. I send it to you guys now.
Thanks.
Thank you, Tanya. Tanya is the news director at Peoria Public Radio, WCBU, and Alex Rusciano has been here, and Demo is also in the news team there. Denise Molina does the mornings. And their boss is the executive director at WCBU, Tom Hunt. Thank you for joining us.
Well, thanks so much. I really appreciate you having the team on to help out with this very, very important event.
Well, let's talk about the team. You personally said we are making a commitment in this time of need.
Right.
From a news point of view.
From a news point of view especially. I mean, public radio news tends to focus more on policy issues in its reporting and political reporting and that sort of thing. But when it comes to emergencies, we have to shift gears and move more to life-saving and emergency information, because we're talking about people's very livelihoods here that are affected by this incredible tornado. So our team and really all the reporters in the area work very, very hard to make sure that that information is getting out to the public.
Well, let's talk about that, because just now, during the 10 o'clock news, Marciana Hester just finished doing her stand-up for Channel 25. And earlier, Channel 31 was here in the studio doing a cut-in with Eugene Daniel. So it has been a unified effort here.
Well, very much so. And again, this is because of the commitment that all the stations have in this community, both radio and television and print. And since Sunday late morning, every single reporter in this town has been working very, very hard with very little rest to get the information out. First, we're talking obviously about get out of the way of the storm, life-saving information. Then we're kind of shifting gears, and the coverage is leaning more towards longer-term shelter. And fortunately, we didn't have to deal much with recovery, which is a good thing. Now we're looking at very long-range thing, rebuilding, getting things back to normal. And that will be the big story for the rest of the year and well into the next year.
So what role does the radio station and all the media play in terms of setting the tone for the Central Illinois community?
We have to stay on top, making sure that people don't forget that this happened and that the recovery takes a long, long time. Once the national news media leave town, they're leaving town now, it's up to us to make sure that this stays in really top of mind for the public in Central Illinois. And that's why I think all the local media will make sure that this story is there and that people know the need is there. And I know that each and every station will be following families as they rebuild and as they put their lives back together. And this telethon and this attempt to raise significant amounts of money, this is just a start.
Tom Hunt, Executive Director at WCBU, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you very
let's go
much.
visit one of your reporters, Alex Rusciano.
Okay, thank you.
Well, thank you so much, guys. And just a quick announcement here. So far for this evening, we have a new total update for you. Over $753,000. So as you can hear, the phones are certainly ringing off the hook, and $756,000. So the number continues to go up. I'm joined right now, speaking of this disaster, with Dr. John Day, who's a clinical psychologist. And Dr. Day, you and I were just talking that people have gone through so many physical challenges with this devastation in Central Illinois. But can you talk about if people are out there wondering on the psychological level, that clearly has to take a toll. What are some of the things that people can look for in terms of the psychological level?
Well, because it's such a trauma and it produces so much stress, very often, immediately, there's a lot of denial, there's a lot of expression of disbelief that things happen. Often there's fear. We know that there's going to be an anxiety reaction. These folks can lose sleep, an inability to concentrate. We see that quite a bit. It's very important to, as adults, talk and try to work through these things after a life-threatening event like this. It's very important to make sure that the kids also have a chance to express themselves, because very often the adults will be in terror and so on, and the kids have been traumatized, and they need to talk about that as well.
And Dr. Day, too, you're a clinical psychologist. Your experience in looking at a spectrum of different psychological things that may arise. As people are out there in Central Illinois, if they have been affected by this, and if they maybe are wondering, what are, say, one or two things that I can do or keep in mind as I go about my everyday activities? Is there anything that you'd recommend, just some quick things that people can do?
Well, I think one of the things is you watch how your regular day and schedule functions. If there's major disruption, I think then I would contact your family physician perhaps. The idea of sleep disturbance, the idea of inability to concentrate can spill over into many aspects of your job as well as your home life. So I think doing that, I think the Red Cross has mental health professionals that are also on the scene doing some immediate critical incident debriefing, which is critically important, I think. So you take advantage of those things. And then, of course, bonding together and talking with one another is very, very important.
You know, we were speaking with some of the victims in Central Illinois, and one of the things that some of them have said is, after an incident like this, it just helps to see a friendly face. It just helps to sit down, rest your feet for a bit, and talk to someone. How does that factor in on the psychological level?
Well, on the psychological level, it's a matter of support. It's a matter of understanding. Sometimes the best thing you can do is just be present. You don't have to come up with solutions. You don't have to do those kinds of things. Just be present and help where you can. Wait until you're invited to help. Don't go charging in, because sometimes that can produce more defensiveness or anxiety.
So that's probably the biggest thing to keep in mind.
Kind of be the old Job's comforter kind of thing. Just be there. And support. That's important as well.
We've just been speaking with clinical psychologist Dr. John Day, just talking about many of the different things that it's important for people to keep in mind on a psychological level. And we want to thank you so much. The night goes on. Tanya, take it away.
Good evening. Thank you, Alex. I am here with IEMA Director, that's the Illinois Emergency Management Agency Director, Jonathan Munkin. You, sir, have a doggone big job right now.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really been, it seems like the last 4 days seems more about like 4 weeks, but it's certainly worth it when you can see the impact that you're having on the community, the help that you're being able to provide, and it's certainly something that we know we're going to be doing for a long time. It's not going to be a few days, it's not going to be a few weeks, it's going to be months and even years, and we're committed to the long haul.
So what I saw as important when we were standing in the debris field in Washington Monday morning about 11 o'clock, you stepped to the podium and you had facts and figures that you weren't reciting them from notes, you knew them. And Washington was just one of the communities in the state of Illinois. Now, it may have some of the most devastation, I think, but you have to have numbers like that in your head for most of the communities that have been impacted.
Yeah, it's important to remember that this really was a statewide disaster, and it's something that we saw that was unprecedented for the state of Illinois. So the National Weather Service confirmed today 17 tornadoes, at least 17 tornadoes touched down in various parts of the state. And that's the hard thing, is there are so many different areas of the state that had such significant damage. It's hard to imagine to be able to travel hundreds of miles and see devastation everywhere.
So in your position as director, right, have you ever seen, because you were watching all the funnel clouds in the air on Sunday, and you saw them, have you ever seen anything like that?
No, I really haven't. It was just for us to be able to see and trying to react to it. I mean, watching, you know, what happened in Washington, and then it was 2.5 hours later that Brookport, Illinois was hit with an EF3 tornado down there. So it's difficult. You have to make sure that you don't overreact to one spot and then you don't have anything left to react to another. And that was one of the hardest things about it, is just watching time after time, hour after hour, more tornadoes coming through. It's just devastating.
So right now the total stands at more than $763,000 raised since 7 o'clock tonight. Talk about what that is in the whole picture. Have you seen anything quite like this before in response to what you do for a living?
You know what? It's amazing. It's humbling just to see how many people are willing to donate. And I can tell you that the impact that this will have on people that were devastated by this cannot be measured in the dollar amount. It's just something that's, like I said, it's humbling to see. It's so encouraging to see. But at the end of the day, it's not surprising either. You go into these communities, and that's what it's really all about, is it's the community responding to these things. So just credit to all the people that have donated tonight, and so much gratitude and appreciation.
No question about the Midwestern spirit and the
That's
strength of it. Thank you, Director Monken. Appreciate your time. We now are headed to Chet.
Well, I'm here with Ann Fox, the Executive Director of the American Red Cross. And Ann, this has been kind of a special night.
Oh, it has been so special. We have just been overwhelmed with all the generosity and the outpouring of caring and concern. It's just been wonderful.
Well, it's a very caring community, a very generous community. And we've had support not only from the area around Peoria in central Illinois, but literally throughout the state and from around the country.
Oh, isn't that wonderful? People are so good, and they are so touched by what they've seen here.
Okay, so I'm going to put you on the spot now. Okay, the total so far, and the phones are still ringing, was about $736,000. What happens now? How do you help Central Illinois with $736,000?
$736,000 will help feed and clothe and care for a lot of tornado victims, and that's how it will be used, to help people put their lives back together.
That's outstanding. I know a lot of people, when they think of the American Red Cross, think basically of blood banks and all that, and that's necessary for this, but not quite the big deal that we're about. It's the cash that makes a difference now, isn't it?
Well, it takes that to do what people need. You know, it takes money. Even with all our love and best intentions, it still takes money to buy food and clothing and medicine and make sure that they have a place to sleep.
Well, to me, it was interesting to see the number of companies that stepped up and made some especially large contributions, with Caterpillar and CEFCU and Mobil Exxon that Aaron Schock was able to pull together, and on and on and on, with some very major gifts.
Right, and I think that shows the caring that those corporations have for their employees and the town where they are doing business.
Yeah, it was interesting to hear the insurance companies that had offices in East Peoria and Washington and beyond, and some of the banks and CEFCU, and how they're trying to help their people with different hours, whatever else. But your people were on the scene. How soon and how long will they be there?
We will be there as long as we're needed. That's what we do. We're the Red Cross, and we're there to help people when they need it. And I'm guessing with this devastation, there's going to be a lot of help needed.
Now, when did your folks first get there, and what was their role?
They probably got there. The tornado struck right before noon, around 11:30, I think. We were probably there by 1:30 or 2, with food, starting to open shelters, that type of thing.
Well, we're going to move on and get back to H here. We want to say thank you. Keep the phones ringing. We're getting close to the end of our broadcast, but not to the end. If you haven't made your pledge, please call now. Let's give it over to H.
And we're over here on the other side of the studio with, sometimes we look at each other and say competitors, but tonight we're not competitors. We're here for a same cause. Eugene Daniel of Channel 31, Marshana Hester, reporters, anchors. You see them on Channel 25, you're on all channels.
19, WAOE.
Yeah, I know.
You're all over the place. You can find us all over the place.
Eugene may have to step aside because he is doing a live shot for Channel 31 during the telethon. Marshana already did hers, so she'll stay. But the message here is that we've pulled all resources out of the television stations and the radio stations to go out and help deliver a message to the Central Illinois community.
You're absolutely right. And, you know, I've been telling people all day, it's when you're in tragedy that you truly get to see the people that you're around and you get to see the beauty of humanity. Well, it's the same for us when we're working together. You get to see truly the people, the colleagues that you go out there every day. And Marchana and I, we bicker all the time behind the scenes just because of our relationship, but to be able to come out here and work for an effort and raise so much money for people in our community who are suffering, it's truly a special time.
And to just hear the phones ringing off the hook, since Eugene and I have been here since about 5, before the telethon even got started, and we were giving people the number to call, they were calling like 505 right immediately after we gave the number. And ever since I've been here in Central Illinois, made this place my home, I have really truly seen the true spirit of the folks here in the heart of Illinois. There is no doubt in the support that the folks have for anyone when anyone's in need.
Absolutely. And Channel 31 actually started early this morning. I saw the cut-ins this morning from the Red Cross office.
Yeah, just, you know, doing our part, doing what we can. We were able to raise about $109,000 this morning, so just tap that on to what people have already been giving. It's just a great effort by everyone all around.
And we're going to give you one last chance to take a jab at Eugene before he does his stand-up.
I won't do that. Good luck, Eugene. Get more people to call. We need to raise more money. That's what we're here for, right?
Eugene and Marchana have been working almost consistently since Sunday afternoon, trying to make sure that the right message is delivered to all of Central Illinois. We appreciate Eugene's efforts, we appreciate Marchana's efforts, and we appreciate your efforts. Welcome back to the studio. I want to say thank you to Dave Lenny for running audio tonight, to Chroma Studios for offering the jib tonight. These are all volunteer offerings. To Prospect Audio and Lighting for providing the wireless microphones. Also to Altorfer, the cat rental store, for providing the lift. And also to Ameren and to Jeff Ish at Advanced Video in Pekin for offering video to us. They've helped to make a difference so that you can help raise funds.
And I'd like to thank all of the stations that participated here, all the commercial stations and their staffs, and especially guys here that dropped everything, Todd Pilon and Bill Baker, for their great work. And The phones will be active until 11 o'clock. You can go online or call the Red Cross tomorrow. But now the last word to Ann.
And Ann would like to thank all of Central Illinois and beyond for this wonderful, wonderful evening.
We're at 775,000. Keep the phones ringing. Thank you.